Just kidding. I'm here. Oh my God. I did not realize I was outside of the screen. I am so tired this morning. I am so pooped from last night. And I do not feel like I got enough sleep, and I think I'm still like half asleep and still delirious. And I just found my missing eyelashes. I was looking all over for my eyelashes this morning, thinking that my cats, because I usually put them right here on my mirror, and they were gone this morning. And I was like, where are my fucking eyelashes? Oh no, I gotta put on new ones again. Fuck my life. I keep trying to reuse the same eyelashes. And then I look over just a little bit, and my eyelashes are on my heater thermometer. Good morning, you guys. I am still literally half asleep. Yes, there is a beat. That is music by my brother. He goes by Chemical. Love him to death. He is one of my absolute favorite people in the world. I got a new like overlay. See like the what is up on top today. So I'm trying to figure out, see if that works out pretty well. I think I might have lifted up these names a little too high and probably have to lower them, but oh well. Yeah, Rocktober's no more. Sad face. Good morning, you guys. I'm really sad about it. We had fun last night. The kid had a blast. She started off with like, this is the worst Halloween ever. I just want to go and hang out with my friends and go do things with my friends. I'm like, sorry, you're grounded. Like, should have thought about that kind of stuff before you decided to, hop into a stolen car and get into an accident and then lie to the police. So, but I decided to be nice. At the end of the night, first we went. There's like this one neighborhood in our area that does trick-or-treating, and it's like one street and then another street and then a few more side streets down that. And it's like every few houses. It's not like every single house does it. It's just, a small little area, like I'd say probably maybe 30 houses, not too much. And we decided to go there last night for Halloween, for trick-or-treating for her, because she wanted some candy and she didn't want to do too much, and she like was hating on her costume even though she picked it. She was a hippie. By the time we were leaving, she liked it. But when we got to over there, she didn't want to trick or treat because she's like, I'm too old to go trick or treating, blah blah blah. So she had us go with her, like grown ups. And then so we were trick or treating last night. Finally found the haunted house, which is like what I always look forward to, is the one haunted house there. It's not too big. It's very small. It's like one of those like circus type tents, but not really as big. It's like can fit in your driveway kind of thing. And I really enjoy it because it's just something, it's something to do for scaring. So took Sam, my husband went with us, and she wanted to walk with me, like arm in arm through it, because she started getting a little bit scared, but I wanted to videotape it. So I let my husband walk in front of me and I videotaped the whole thing. And he was like, she like was trying to run through the haunt. And I was like trying to record and stuff, but he was like yanking her back, like, no, 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 just come over here and experience a little bit. And I was trying to tell her at the end, like when it was over, I was like, we're trying to get you to slow down a little bit. So that way the people that are scaring you have enough time to figure out what they're going to do when you come out, because when you come out straight away, they don't know what to do. They're kind of confused, but like a couple of them were actually scaring me, or trying to scare me behind them. And I'm just like, say hello to the camera. Yeah, so she didn't like it. She got scared, but she had fun. And then we went and trick-or-treated a few more houses and ended up seeing one of the kids, we saw a kid that we knew, their whole family and stuff in the neighborhood, and he was with her friends and stuff. And so he came up and said hi and asking about his dad and stuff and how the kids were doing and stuff. And he was like, he looked over at Sam, and Sam was like, I can't go anywhere, I'm grounded. He's like, if you were to go anywhere, it would be because of me. And I was like, yeah, I trust this kid. I know him. Like, I know his parents. I know them very, very well. They're very good parents, very strict, like not very strict, but, strict enough to make them, good kids and stuff. They're pretty decent kids, very old school way of living. So they're good kids. I told her, I was like, look, I'm going to let you go and hang out with your friends. I decided I was going to let her go hang out with her friends. Yeah, panicked. I know. She did. I let her go and hang out with her friends, and for like 45 minutes, it was like 7:15 last night when it happened. And I was like, all right, I'll give you till 8 o'clock. Meet up with us at the grocery store at the end of the street. So I let her go hang out with her friends, and I looked over at the boy and I was like, look, the only reason why she's going out with her friends right now is because of you. So please keep an eye on her. She is still grounded. I'm trusting you to make sure that she doesn't make any bad choices and stuff. So she did pretty good. She actually did really, really good. So she met up with us at 8, came back home and had some candy and hung out. And then we all went to bed because we were all poopered. So that was pretty cool. Very nice. Not too bad. Very easygoing. Dressed up. It was a lot of fun. There was a house. There's always like this one house at the end of one of the streets that are really cool. They they do jello shots for the grown-ups. So like the kids, they'll wait at the gate right at the front yard with this like plate with this brain shaped jello, and it's got alcohol in it. So they'll sit up at the front at the gate, and then the kids will go through the gate up to the front door to get candy, and the grown-ups can sit or stand at the gate and get some jello shots. So she's like, everybody on the mountain, all the grown-ups, they know, like we all know, to go to that house because that's where we're gonna get our alcohol. To it's like kind of like the halfway point of like houses we've already gone to and then houses we still need to go to. So it's like a great little halfway point of like getting a couple of jello shots to hook yourself up to, handle the rest of the night for it. So it was really cool. I think the lady there is starting to realize like she's famous for that up here. So, because she's like, everybody keeps, because I told her, I was like, dude, you're the only reason why I come up here. And I was like, if any more people are coming up here, it's because I talk about it way too much to people. And they all agree with me that like you're the grown up favorite and during Halloween over here. So she's like, I started to hear more people are coming over and I'm the jello shot lady. I'm like, yeah, you are. You are officially like famous on this town or in this mountain for your jello shots on Halloween. So congrats. It's actually really cool. She said she even reheard people talking about it like at the grocery store when she wasn't there. She's like, I do the jello shots. So she's cool. Spiked cider. I mean, I'm down. I'm anything anything on Halloween with a little bit of alcohol just so I can kind of, just make it a little bit through the rest of the night until I go to bed. I'm happy. I'm cool with that. Like I said, the jello shots kind of worked. So they weren't as strong as normal, but hey, any little thing, to help you get by. So I had my like weed pen with me, but it wasn't doing too much. I was like starting to get really stoned and wanting to go to bed. So anyways, that was my day yesterday for Halloween. Not too bad. Kind of kept it local. Didn't want to go to. We thought about going down the mountain to like the rich areas to get some more candy, but I don't know. We just decided like by the time we get down there, it's probably going to be late. And then we got to drive all the way back. And, I have to do this in the morning. So it was just like, maybe I'm a little, like maybe I don't want to go down to the rich area and get some good candy. So I figured today and tomorrow too, like if anything, they're going to have like all the candy, on for sale for all the bags of candy. So I'll just go buy myself or have my husband go buy me a bag of candy. That way I can at least have something. Because we did get some candy last night. Not too much. Just a little bit. At least I got Snickers. That was the only thing that I really cared about was getting some Snickers. So I got some Snickers. I was happy. I think I got like one little Kit Kat, which kind of sucked, but whatever. It works. It is what it is. I got candy. I ate some last night. I'm a happy camper. So that's all that matters. So how was your guys' Halloween? Holly, Warren, I see you guys in the chat. So you guys are like the only ones that are commenting up in here. So tell me how your Halloween was. What did you do? Anything that stood out? Anything that, was fun? Warren, how was, I saw bits and pieces of your show last night that I could get into. I tried to watch it in 2 times the speed when I got home last night, but I was getting stoned and I couldn't pay attention a lot. But it was really cool to see all of you guys on there last night. I noticed it was definitely a cock fest, but whatever. That's how it goes. So I wish I could have joined. I was trying to figure out a way to keep my kid happy, do the whole Halloween thing, and try to get home before the show was over. But at last, it did not happen. So it was a quiet it was quiet, and you watch Star Trek? What? Everybody watches Star Trek. I gotta get into it or something because I've never got into the shows or anything like that. And I need to get into them because everybody loves them. And I've even heard like my personality. People said that I would like it if I watched it. So I definitely gotta watch it. And it's not something that I wouldn't watch either. Like my obsession with Doctor Who, I think it was like already in the 2000s when I think it was only like 7 or 8 years ago when I started watching Doctor Who, and my friend was like, "You're going to love it. Watch it from the beginning, from the old times when it was in black and white, and you're going to really like it." And I ended up loving it. So, definitely probably going to have to get into Star Trek sometime to watch cuz like I said, people, even Warren tells me all the time like it's definitely the kind of show that you would like because it's in space, it has a lot of politics, things like that. So I definitely want to get into it for sure. And I put my coffee in a McDonald's cup. I don't know why. I just like the feel of it, and it's really big. I think I wanted to use the straw, but I didn't have time. Hey, my cats are fighting. They want to do all day today. See, they're like right there. They're fighting. Kitty kitties. Hi, kitty kitties. I swear, out of like all the places they decide they want to fight, it's right on my dog's pee pads. They think it's like some kind of toy that they can play with, some kind of floor mat that they can throw around. So, anyways, for the news today, I guess it doesn't look too bad with all of this right here. And then I guess that right there. Well, for me, it's covered up there, but whatever. It works. I mean, it's better than the other one. The other one's like that. And see like how it covers up at the bottom down here. So I think I do like that one a little bit more. That way you get the Rockfin on there too. We guys were on Rockfin, which is awesome. Yeah, exactly. No drink without the straw. I know. It's just nicer to be able to, because like for my coffee, I really love, like obviously you guys know I really love coffee, but like the top part of the coffee always gets really cold because it's out in the air and stuff. So I like the straw because it gets it down in the bottom where it's still warm. I'm so weird. I know. You watched the Greenwich Village Halloween parade on YouTube. It was rainy, perfect night to stay indoors. Ooh, you got rain. I heard we're supposed to get rain over here tomorrow. They were saying that we might actually even get snow tomorrow. So we'll see. But I don't know yet. I'm excited. I think that's like I hate Halloween being over. It makes me upset because I love the feeling of Halloween. Oh my God, like last night we were going down the street and the haunted house that I was telling you about, you can hear them from really far away because they have the chainsaw. And that's like, that to me is nostalgic. For me, as soon as I hear the chainsaw on Halloween, I know it's like, that's my time. Like I love hearing the chainsaw on Halloween. So we were going down the street and Sam hadn't heard it yet, hadn't heard the chainsaw, and I heard it. And I looked over at my husband. I was like, there it is. That's the sound I've been waiting for. You just hear this everywhere. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's what I live for. I love it. I think that's my favorite thing about scare haunted houses is when people bring out the chainsaw, because if you've never worked in a haunted house before, yeah, exactly. I do. I need an insulated cup for sure. But if you never worked at like haunted houses or like haunted places before, you'll never realize that when they have those chainsaws and they use them for props, they take off the chain parts. That way you can't get hurt or anything. Of course, they still keep a little bit of a distance away because it's gas powered and it's still a machine and it's still, scary. But you can like, without the chain, you can like go up to somebody's shoe and just like on it and it won't do anything because there's no chain to do anything. But people don't know that. Like regular people who've never worked in haunted houses and stuff, they don't realize that. And that's my favorite part, is like knowing that that sound is what's supposed to scare people because people don't realize it, but I know what's going on. So I'm not scared of it or anything. So when we went through the haunted house, like Sam just ran right past it, like didn't even realize where the chainsaw dude was. And I'm like sitting there slowly walking like, What's up, dude? Yes, got it. Which they were doing very good, like with the safety concerns and stuff too. Like they kept a good distance away. They wouldn't pass this certain area with the chainsaw. I was sitting there like kind of like, come on, get closer. I know what to do. Just give me the chainsaw. I'll take it. I'll handle it. That's cool though. The Greenwich Village Halloween Parade. I've never heard of that. I'll have to watch that. I didn't know they had Halloween parades. That was fun. I know they do like Christmas parades and 4th of July parades, but I've never known they did Halloween parades. That's interesting. I definitely like that. Okay. So for today's show, good morning, Miguel. Good to see you. For today's show, I've got some things that we can go over. So first, what did I find for today? So a lot of people have been talking about the Just Stop Oil people. So we're gonna go through all the different protests and kind of figure out, like, is this one okay? Does this one make sense? What were you're just kind of debating about it? What makes, like, are they doing good things? Was this protest meaningful? Did it hit the mark? What are people saying? Things like that. That's a movie. I Saw What You Did. I Saw What You Did Last Summer, or I Know What You Did Last Summer. That's a good movie. And then next, just go a little bit over what happened with Paul Pelosi. We all pretty much know what happened to him. I don't really want to make too much of a joke about it. We have been, joking. I've been seeing jokes here and there about it. Like, what was one of them? Like, how does Nancy Pelosi stay with a man like that when he's always hammered? That was like one of the funny ones. But passing that, it's really interesting something that I noticed last night was like watching CNN and then watching Fox News and how they're turning it political. Like CNN talks about, how he's an extreme right winger and how he's a Trump supporter and he has these blogs and he's like anti-Semitic and like, talking about just really right-wing stuff. But then you go on to Fox News and they're like, he used to be a staunch Obama supporter, like just the complete opposite ends and like the omitting just to get their point across kind of thing about the guy. I think his name is DePape or something. Yeah, hammer. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that kind of thing. But I wanted to go through like each one, like a CNN and then a Fox News one to see kind of the differences between the two and how they're both kind of politicizing the sides. Hey, stop. Don't make me I'll go get the spray bottle. Don't make me get it, because I will. Too late. I got it. It's mine now. Y'all are done. I got the spray bottle now. Here, you want this door open a little bit so you can go in and out? You and your mom, I swear. These cats, man. Yeah, DePape. So I figured I'd go over that a little bit to see like the two sides and how they're politicizing it and all of that stuff. We pretty much already know everything that happened, so I don't want to go too deep into it. Right? Don't make me turn this live stream around. Fucking animals. I got my turnaround right here. It's right here. Okay. And then next, I wanted to go over. So Obama did a speech this week. The only thing that people wanted to talk about was like how he held his own because of a heckler that was on there. That's what they called it, a heckler, which they always say, an anti-war protester pretty much. And so I wanted to hear what the guy says, hear what Obama says, and then talk about the hypocrisy with all of that, because it's absolutely ridiculous to me how he sits there and tells a guy who's anti-war at his stage that he doesn't have time for this. You don't need to interrupt, blah. You need to listen to me. And here's what I have to say. just pretty much just being rude. I think he even like kicked the guy out while he continued the speech. So that it didn't make sense to me, like how he can sit there and treat that person like that, which is somebody who's, honestly wanting to know answers to something. But then there was like a lady in pink behind him, and he said something, and she's all, "You're finer than a motherfucker." And he like turns around, gives her attention, talks about how my wife agrees with you. And like, he's all talking about, okay, we're getting distracted. And it was like, squirrel, like just how he jokes around about it and plays off with somebody who's on his side, but then somebody in the audience who actually has a problem and wants something, like an honest situation that they want fixed or something answered, and he just kicks that person out. So the hypocrisy, it was in Michigan. He did drink Flint water. Oh my God. Yeah, that's what you fucking get. And that's what you fucking get. Fuck you guys. Holy shit. I hate animals. I fucking hate animals. Sorry. Did he actually drink did he actually drink water while he was there? Because I don't believe that he did. And if he did, he probably got it from a bottle of water and they put it in a cup. So yeah, that's that one with the Obama one that I want to talk about. And then I did see, okay, so I saw a video last night. Well, I saw an article last night, and then I only found one video on it, which ended up being, I think, like the Hill breaking points or whatever people, Crystal and Sagar. The Ministry of Truth is actually like continuing in secret. So apparently something about Facebook and how they're still able to stop you from being able to post for misinformation. It just seems like Facebook ended up keeping this whole Ministry of Truth thing, and they're continuing it to go. And then Crystal and Sagar end up talking to somebody about that as well, about the the Ministry of Truth, the Department of whatever it is, still going. So it was bottled water in a cup. That's what I figured. Yeah, because Obama would never. I mean, he's had his chance a couple of times to do that out there, and he never did. So. And then another one I want to talk about is a video. Well, it's like only 2.5 minutes. I saw, and I think Kyle covered it, but I don't really like the way that Kyle talks about it, because Kyle just automatically, like every little thing that Kyle says about this, it's the whole Charlemagne expressing concern for Kanye West. And anytime that Kyle Kalinske ends up talking about Kanye West, he always brings in the fact that he's like bipolar and that he's off his meds and that he needs his medication. And it's just stupid to me. It's absolutely dumb, because it's like, not everybody, okay, I understand. Yes, some bipolar people need medication and stuff like that, but that is literally your only talking point about this whole thing. Why? Why is that the only thing that you're talking about is his medication and the fact that he's he's extremely bipolar? But there's other points to that. So I wanted to go over at least what Charlemagne is talking about with this guy. I don't want to talk too much about Kanye, because that guy is out there, and he brings in his followers are wild. So Obama would need a drink from the water hose. Yeah, exactly. And then lastly, but not least, when we're done with all of that, I decided we'd do one little, short fun video for, the fun to end it with. And I figured since today's November 1st, we will learn about the history of Dios de las Muertas. So, well, Dios de las Muertas, because I have to do with an A because I'm a female. So we're going to be, I figured we can watch a video about that. So those are the things that I have for today. I figure we could start with the throwing soup and the stop oil protest. Just the different kinds, which ones aren't working, which ones make sense, things like that. I'm getting all of it up right now. I'm sorry. Hold on. So we can watch or start off with will show like what these people are actually doing, which is crazy. There we go. Okay. I got all of them up. So we'll start. Oh, and good morning, Atres. Sorry. Oh, Obama would never drink from a water hose. Yes, that is very true. Yeah, Diaz de las Muertas. I know. I got to say like a female because I'm, a female. We'll start with the most recent one. So the most recent protest that these people have done is right, yeah, 22 hours ago. So an MI5 and a Bank of England, these people, a couple people did get arrested for this, but they spray painted this building orange, which is very interesting to watch. So there's a part of them doing that, exactly that. And here's another person who's tagging the walls, putting "Just Stop Oil." They spray paint from fire extinguishers on the Home Office, the MI5 building, and then the Bank of England and the headquarters of News Corp at London Bridge on Monday morning. Oh, there's the orange spray paint. The buildings were chosen to represent the pillars that support the fossil fuel economy, which is nice. This is the kind of like, nonviolent protests that definitely is needed. Sorry, that is needed to actually make a point. So here's another one. Actually, he did. Let me share this actually instead. The video of him first, which I thought this one was kind of mean. So this passerby ended up like trying to stop this guy, and they both just got into like a fight about it, which it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like, you're just some regular ass dude, don't even like, what are you making, like $7 to $10 an hour, and you're out there like trying to protect the MI5 building or the bank. Like, come on, dude, like, mind your own damn business. Let these people do what they're doing. They're actually making statements, at least they're going out there and doing a statement. I love the idea of causing these rich people some problems to where they have to spend the time to clean this stuff, just like, what they're doing to the Amazon and what they're doing to climate change and our planet, ruining it, where it's going to take us time to have to try to rebuild it and bring it back. Like, I see the similarity in the fight right there. So yeah, I know, right? Hey, if you're going to tag, let a lady do it. She's got that good handwriting. So I thought this was really interesting. It's really funny that this person right here, it literally reminds me of my friend Janet. Like, if you could see my friend Janet from behind, that's literally what she looks like right there. Like the baggy pants, the boots, the jacket, the gray hair with the mohawk. That's my buddy Janet right there. That was so wild to see. I had to like do a double take and then watch the videos of it too. I was like, it is that Janet? So here's another video of them doing the painting. So it says 8:30 a.m. yesterday, 6 Just Stop Oil supporters sprayed orange paint from fire extinguishers onto the home office of the MI5 building and the Bank of England and the headquarters of News Corp at London Bridge. Which, great. I love it. I think that's great. I think it's awesome. There's the girl that's saying "Just Stop Oil." There's the video that we saw of the dude. That, I think that's the dude. No, So that was a different one that she did? It's got to be. She's got to have done it multiple times for sure. And then there was these people right here. They pied the new king. They have covered Madame Tussauds wax model of King Charles with hot chocolate cake, demanding that the government halts all new oil and gas licenses and consents. So here's another one. Obviously, this is not even a big deal either. What did this lady spend like, hours and hours on a wax museum to commemorate rich people? I don't really care. It's a wax figure. It doesn't do anything for me. Cake it up. I don't care. I completely understand how, climate change and things like that is a little bit more important than some stupid wax figures. Then there's oh wait, I'm not even fucking showing this shit. Oh my god. So here's the wax figures. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm still tired. There's the wax figures. There's them doing some more spray painting. Okay, there's the wax figures. Jesus Christ. And they did it with chocolate cake. And then, so this is the guy that reminds me of Janet. He's a 34-year-old bicycle mechanic. Why they spray painted the United Nations and the International Energy Agency are clear. There can be no new oil and gas if we are to avert climate catastrophe, which, I mean, yeah, this is their getup. This is what they're doing. This is, these people understand. I mean, we understand what the companies are doing. We just allow them to do.
Our demand is simple. No new fossil fuel licenses. No new fossil fuel licenses. And I won't have to do this anymore. The government has taken our future. I want our future back. It's criminal inaction. Criminal inaction on the climate crisis. The UN say you need to act. The IPCC say you need to act. The IMF, the World Bank, all say you need to act. And yet the government does nothing. What does it do? It issues new fossil fuel licenses. It says we need to drain every last drop of oil out of the North Sea. That goes against everything that all of these internationally respected bodies are telling us. And here I am, an ordinary person, having to do this. You think I like it? No. This is something that I feel is a duty that I have to do as a citizen of the UK when our government is criminal. I'm furious. And I'm devastated.
And I'm in love with your accent, boy. There's some more video of him doing that. That's so cool. They must have somebody who knows how to work fire extinguishers, like have a fire extinguisher person there that knows how to work that, because that's awesome. There he is right there. This is the one that got into the little tizzy with the regular person that was doing it, or that was trying to stop them. Which is great. Good for him. I'm really excited that he's doing that. And then there's also so much to share. So there's more. This is another one that they did. Activists throwing tomato soup at the billionaire and fossil fuel investor Steven Schwartzman's luxury apartment building while having an eat the rich dinner. They say if we tax the rich, maybe we won't have to eat them, which absolutely, I mean, I absolutely adore this idea. This is another really good idea. I mean, they've also been doing, throwing canned soup on art, on paintings, things like that, and it's like, okay, so they're doing all of these things, and I hear people on the internet, like on Twitter and things like that, talking about how this is not it. You guys aren't doing that. Why are you wasting good artwork just to make a point? These people weren't, these artists, I don't know, were poor people and stuff like that, things like that. it's so hard to talk about because it's like, yo, I get it. Like I understand, the whole, oh man, it's so hard. I understand not wanting to ruin good works of art or things from the past because it's like a living representation of those people that are no longer there, and those people actually didn't live the best lives ever, but it's still like they're not actually ruining that artwork. They understand, they know that they're not ruining the artwork. They're just trying to make the point of climate change and how serious it is. And it's like, how do you expect these people to protest anything if you constantly say that what they're doing is wrong and they're doing it the wrong way? Like, please explain to me what a good way for these people to do this, because I'm pretty sure they've tried it every other way, like every way that they could think of. I mean, Greta Thunberg like skipped school and sat outside with a sign for years and shit. Just recently, I believe this year, a man lit himself on fire and died for climate change. And it's like, which way do you guys want us, want all of them to go? Because they're going every way possible they can think of that's going to at least try to open people's eyes up to what's happening and try to get these rich people to stop doing it. But these rich people are never going to listen. And then also you've got a bunch of poor people who are like, Daddy Elon, that kind of stuff. And it's like, well, then, how are you supposed to get these people to see if you're just going to be like, stop climate change, let me sit outside of the school, let me light myself on fire? No, do this. This is sorry, this damn Jimmy, come on. Like, this kind of stuff is the way to do it. You're inconveniencing a person who has inconvenienced the entire world. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no violence, nobody's being hurt. It's just they're going to have to spend this company's going to have to spend money and time and resources on cleaning all this stuff up, which they should be doing with the rainforest and should be doing with our environment instead. But I think this is a really good way of getting back and forth, or doing, like a back and forth, and actually doing something that's, and it's a bunch of young kids too. I mean, yes, that one guy was old, but these are some young kids doing it as well. So this is a Slate talking about this. It says all the times. Okay, so just to prove that this is not something new, that these kids aren't doing something that we haven't seen before, I found this where it's talking about the times in history where people have shot, they puked on, they put meat cleavers onto famous paintings just to make points. And this is something that has actually happened in history. So this person says, as long as art has been on display, visitors have caressed, attacked, broken, or made unauthorized additions to it. Banksy does the same thing. Banksy, he's kind of like that, whereas artwork gets so much, but then I think one time he ended up selling an artwork, and as soon as it sold, it went right through a shredder. It's fucking genius. It's art. That's all it is a representation of things. And if these people want to mess that up, or make it look like they're messing it up to make a point, you're not actually messing anything up. You're just pretending to make a point. But people have been doing this forever. I mean, to their reasons have varied. In the ancient world, victorious armies knocked the heads off of statues of conquered rulers. People suffered from mental health crises of often attacked artwork, believing, for example, that the Virgin Mary condemned them to take a hammer to Michelangelo's Pieta in Rome in 1972, or that the Lord told them to cut Rembrandt's Night Watch with a bread knife in Amsterdam in 1975, or that hurling several ancient Roman busts to the floor was the right response to being denied a meeting with the Pope in 2022 in the Vatican. All throughout history, even up to this day. Meanwhile, artists have vandalized or modified existing art on purpose to create new works, which has recently just happened. I believe there was a a mural or something of Kanye West recently in front of, I believe it was a school or a library or something like that. And the artist just recently within this week went in there and he kept the mural, but he changed it to where it says, we need better role models. And that's that own artist changing his own artwork, which would be technically defacing the original artwork in other people's eyes, but that's the whole thing of it is like you're making a statement, you're changing it to make that statement. In 1996, Jabal Brown decided to redecorate a Piet Mondrian painting at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. With the aid of food coloring, he completed the red and blue portions of a planned primary color triptych before museum officials caught on that something more than a stomach bug was afoot. There's so many of them, just tons of them. So this person says the activists of Just Stop Oil, the organization behind the recent food hurlings and gluings in museum in England, Germany, and Netherlands, have explained that they knew their actions would not hurt the paintings, which were safe under glass. Instead, they threw food and then glued their hand to the walls near the art to draw public attention to the climate change. They want all of us to change our lives to save ourselves and the world, and they are certainly not the first ones to try to make change by harming or threatening to harm art. So, in the second half of the 16th century, reformers smashed Catholic religious art all over Europe as the idea of the Protestant Reformation spread. Most of the fervent attacks happened in the Netherlands in 1566, where many of the iconoclasts saw their acts as symbolizing their rebellion against Habsburg, the Catholic Spanish dynasty that then controlled parts of the Low Countries. Other image breakers wanted to protest the church wasting its wealth on art when so many were going hungry after the failed grain harvest of 1565, which is like those girls that threw the canned soup on the painting of the flowers. They said the same thing. Most people can't even afford this can of soup. Like, and that's what pisses me off too, like about Twitter. They're all over Twitter, like, you just wasted a soup to make a point. That's the whole thing, is just to make the point. How are you supposed to ever get people to notice if you can't make the fucking point, when all you're going to do is complain about what they're using to make the point? That you're literally just stop tracking, gatekeeping what should be made points, or how we should be making points on certain topics, and you don't get to do that. I'm sorry. This is something, like we've been reading right here, this is something that happens in history. This is something that's allowed to fucking happen. If people want to do it, then they want to do it. And these guys aren't even really doing anything bad. They even said themselves that they know that they're not hurting the paintings because it's under glass and they're protected. Of course they know that. Another outbreak of art-based protest erupted in 1913, when 3 English suffragists campaigning for women's rights to vote smashed the glass over 13 paintings in an art gallery. They said they did so to protest the treatment of Emmeline Parkhurst, one of the movement's leaders, who was imprisoned many times and went on multiple hunger strikes in the course of her activism. See, just so women can get to right to vote. This is what this woman had to do. And I bet you back then they were like, oh, you shouldn't do that to the painting. The person that made that didn't do anything wrong. You're making a fucking point. What do you expect them to do? Sit there on their computer like keyboard warriors and talk to you guys? Because all you're going to do is try to cancel them, probably dox them, probably make them lose their jobs and shit. Like, it's just the worst that people try to gatekeep stuff, and I hate it. They didn't want to damage the art, but the next year, another suffragist protest attacked a 1650 painting of Venus in the National Gallery in London. She explained in a statement printed that she slashed the picture of the most beautiful woman in mythological history with a meat cleaver to point out that public outrage over her action would be hypocritical, so long as they allow this destruction of Mrs. Pankhurst and other beautiful living women. In the following 4 months, 9 other suffragists slashed 14 more paintings to make the same point. Despite this fervent protest, British women gained full voting equality only in 1928. Thank you. Points. They're points that they're trying to make. I don't see anything wrong with it. Similarly, in 2020, Black Lives Matter and other protesters frequently gathered around public monuments. They painted, toppled, or sought official removal of the artwork, honoring enslavers, colonizers, and white supremacists, which is true. I have a friend on Facebook that was going around working for governments and for contract companies who actually took down these things. So let them spray it, paint it up. We shouldn't even be having that. We shouldn't be idolizing these kind of people anyway. So most of them, some of them have already been taken down because the government contracted them to take them down because we don't need them anymore, because it's wrong to even idolize those type of people. What these protests have in common with the Reformation iconoclasts and the suffragists is that they all used physical action directed at artwork to draw attention to abstract problems. Thank you. So these can be very effective because of the peculiar way that humans react to art. Right. Think of the difference between ripping up a piece of paper and ripping up a photograph of an ex, this thing says. The disturbingly satisfying violence of ripping up a photograph of your ex hints at what the art historian Dave Friedberg has argued is the persistent human belief that the images in artwork are still a little bit alive, saying that it's a living depiction, like pretty much a living depiction of the artist itself. No wonder that taking a meat cleaver to a Venus is so shocking. It's the closest a nonviolent protester can come to carrying out a human sacrifice. Wow. It's a little on the whoa side. Indeed, it seems that it is the closeness without the reality that is key to the protest. The recent suicide of an environmental activist who self-immolated in front of a Supreme Court in an attempt to draw attention to the climate energy drew relatively muted media attention. A death like this is too horrifying to symbolize something else. Even something as important as climate change, attacking an artwork instead draws similar aghast attention, but leaves the audience asking why. A question activists can then try to answer. The actions of Reformation iconoclasts, Black Lives Matter protests, and the suffragists bore some essential relationship with the artwork on which they focused. Beautiful gilded altarpieces captivated worshippers to the frustration of the iconoclasts who wanted people to pay more attention to the political realities of their lives than their afterlives. Just Stop Oil activists has successfully drawn public attention, and the most recent incident, which took place on The Hague on Thursday, comes closest to the suffragist models. One man glued his hand to the glass covering a girl with a pearl earring. Another poured a can of tomatoes. The activist asked viewers how it felt to see something so beautiful at risk of harm. This person says, "Do you feel outraged? Good. Where is that feeling when you see the planet being destroyed before our very eyes?" So true. Still, the connection between their actions and climate change is not as startling clear as between Venus and Pankhurst. They could have threatened to damage anything people care about. And why all the tomatoes? Right, that's all people care about. Like, why are you ruining the artwork? Blah, blah, blah. Their actions reminded me of a past few examples of similar loosely connected protests. 1974, the artist of Kill Lies All on Pablo Picasso's Guernica, as it was on display in the Museum of Modern Art. He claimed he did so as a comment on President Nixon's pardoning of an army officer for his role in the 1968 massacre. 1987, a man who would later say he was protesting poverty fired a sawed-off shotgun at Leonardo da Vinci's drawing in the National Gallery in London. The same museum in 1998, the nudist activist Vincent Bethel stripped down and smeared the pound sterling sign in yellow paint on a Rembrandt self-portrait. He became the first defendant in UK history to stand trial while naked. Oh, that's great. When I asked what happened to the museum visitor who pooped on the museum floor, the guard told me the most amazing part of the story. They were never caught. Apparently, a poop ninja They did their business and got back into line to see the exhibition. Everything continues as it was supposed to. Museums are powerful cultural institutions. Disrupting their smooth functioning takes more than soup or even poop. Fossil fuel companies are even more difficult to ruffle. I wish the Just Stop Oil activists luck in changing the destructive habits of centuries of extractive exploitation of our planet, but if coating a Monet in mashed potatoes is going to help, they have to make the symbolic connection a lot more clear. They're doing the best they can. I honestly think like a guy lighting himself on fire in front of SCOTUS is probably about as clear as you can fucking get. And nobody even knows about it because the news didn't even talk about it. Not one fucking thing about that guy. But they're going to sit here and complain about artwork and shit. Like, these people aren't lighting themselves on fire in front of you. What the fuck is your problem? Why do you gotta treat them like that? Like they're not doing that, you know? There was that whole ass dude, man. Hold on. Guy lights self on fire. Like there's like a whole TMZ about it, right? Yeah, like TMZ did about it, USA Today. There's YouTubes. And he was doing it for I'm all looking and not showing again. Damn it. Here we go. And this guy was doing it for the same reason. The police didn't offer details. Similar incident in 2019 died after setting him on fire outside the White House. Latest incident comes after false alarm on Wednesday when the Capitol Police evacuated after spotting a plane they deemed probable threat. Wait, what? Lighting himself on fire, who was 50, went to the plaza in front of the court building about 6:30, set himself on fire. He was airlifted to a hospital and died from his injuries. Said in a statement that a medical helicopter landed. In a video tweet by a Fox reporter, a helicopter was shown landing. See, it just talks about like what happened with this person. Like the police evacuated. They deemed it a probable threat. More about military. Not a single fucking thing in here about why this guy did it. Not a single thing. And that's wild to me. And they wonder why people keep trying to do different things and different ideas as to, trying to get people to notice climate change. This guy just literally lit himself on fire and nobody even knows why because they didn't talk about it. Which is crazy. It's disgusting to me. It's like, what do you expect these people to do? What do you want them to do? Like, everyone was in shock. I was in shock. What about the guy? What about the guy? You think he wasn't in shock? He wasn't fucking, I'm pretty sure he's sitting fucking up there wherever he's at right now. Like, you guys all fucking suck. I did this for nothing because you guys suck so bad. It's like TMZ, other places, they just don't give a fuck. They're just like, here's what here's what this guy did. Here's what our military did. Here's what witnesses say. Not, why did this guy do it? What was the point of it? Like it's gross to me how we treat people, and how we just ignore the things that they're trying, or the issues that they're trying to bring up. Okay, so here 5 hours ago, they're demanding that the government halt all new oil and gas licenses. The action today follows the announcement by BP of a bumper profit of 7 billion euros for the last quarter alone, while it expects to pay only 700 million euros in windfall tax on its North Sea operations for the whole year. And these people are being arrested for it. Let's sit there and protect the rich guys some more. Please, let's do that. Let's protect them. This courageous bystander. See, and that's what pisses me off. They're like, this courageous person stopped this dude from doing it. Like, who the fuck are you, Martin Dab? Oh, you're a blue checker. No wonder. Okay, that's why you're wanting to save this building and not care. This one's talking shit about how they did it in France. Of course, Paul Joseph Watson's going to talk shit about these guys. Downing Street is blocked, so these are the guys that just got arrested. They stormed the gates. A number of them attempted to scale the gates while others sat on the road to block the entrance, with some gluing their hands to the tarmac. The gates of Downing Street, huh? I wonder what happens on Downing Street and why they blocked it off. And see, like, these people, like this one right here, denim made using oil, backpacks made from oil, plastic buttons. Like, how do you expect anyone to do any kind of protesting and make any kind of fucking point when you're just going to use their points against them like this? How do you okay, these people are trying to make points, trying to do activism in what the society has offered to them. Like, you think this person wouldn't buy pants that aren't made from oil if he had the chance or if he had the opportunity, and it was like priced enough to where they can afford it. Paint, do you think they have a choice in how the paint was made, or are even allowed to know what the paint is made by or made through? I mean, they probably do know what it's made with, but still, like, you think they had a choice. Jackets, like, you want them to just fucking freeze to death while they're going out there? They don't have a fucking choice but to wear a goddamn jacket. Like, that's the kind of stuff that pisses me off right there, is like, they're doing a thing that's making a statement and you're just sitting there degrading and belittling everything that they're doing by telling them the things that they're using is made with these companies when they don't have a choice. Like, this is what society has pretty much built us to where that we have no choice but to wear and use these products because it's the only thing available. Yay, capitalism. Capitalism is supposed to be like, you get all these things available and you have so many different choices. The fuck you do. The fuck you do. Let's see. From today, Just Stop Oil will pause its campaign of civil resistance. We are giving time to those in the government who are in touch with reality to consider the responsibilities to this country at their time. So they're going to be taking, it looks like they're taking a break. Let me remove this and then we'll watch the video of what she has to say. Good job, people. That's fucking wonderful. Great job on, like, ruining things for everybody, to the point now where these people don't even
this week
they feel like they're not even making anything now and they're taking a break. I hope all you people are happy.
This UN report states that staying under 1.5 degrees of warming is no longer credible. Going over 1.5 degrees of warming locks in the loss of the coral reefs,
the loss of 25% of the world's fish, the destruction of hundreds of millions of livelihoods, and millions of innocent lives.
Going over 1.5 degrees of warming means island nations going underwater. This constitutes an act of illegal war.
This is just the beginning. From today, Just Stop Oil will pause its campaign of civil resistance.
We're giving time to those in government who are in touch with reality
to consider their responsibilities to this country at this time.
If we receive no response from ministers by the end of Friday the 4th,
we will escalate our legal disruption against this government.
Our actions will be proportionate to the scale of this crisis.
New oil and gas is a crime against humanity. The facts are crystal clear. Drilling for more oil and gas is taking us way beyond 1.5 degrees. There is no greater crime.
You do not get to murder people just because you can.
For 32 days, we've been peacefully blocking roads, demanding that our government take action in protecting the lives of millions. Do they really want us to continue in civil resistance? Or will they come and talk to us and promise a livable future for all without oil?
Good for them. That's amazing. Like, really, really good for them. I respect the fact that they're wanting to take a little bit of a break to give the politicians a little bit of time to figure out what they want to do, if they're going to even listen to them, and then they're going to ramp it right back up. Proud. Good job. Great, great, great job, kids. Like, I thought at first they were like going to just stop it and pause for a while because nobody's listening and they're probably getting too much backlash. But no, they're giving politicians enough time to think about it, to think about what they've done, to see if they want to change it a little bit. If they don't, they're going to ramp it up. Good for them. I'm proud. I'm proud that they're not listening to these other people who are just sitting there bagging on them and talking down to them for the actions that they're doing. Because like I said earlier, what other actions do they have? Like, they've literally lit themselves on fire in front of Washington, and still, like, that got lesser news than this stuff right here. So what are these guys supposed to do? What the fuck are they supposed to do? Good on them for this. I'm extremely happy with that. There's some more of them spray painting with the orange paint. There's that kid that we were watching earlier. These guys were glued themselves to the ground, and people, like, you know, and what's crazy is like these regular people were like getting mad and trying to move them off the ground so they can work. Like, you think that these cars, you think that these trucks, you think that your job, you think that your everyday life, like you're getting mad at right here, is going to be here when the climate is done, when we've passed that 1.5%. You really honestly truly think that you're going to be able to drive that truck to work every fucking day? No, dude, your whole life is done for. Everybody's fucking like done. They're all done. The natural weather causes that are going to happen because of the imbalance of climate is going to make you not be able to do anything that you were supposed to do before, because you're going to probably, especially where you are in England, you guys are a little fucking island. Y'all are going to be migrating. Y'all are going to be finding some huge ass continents to be moving to, because your island is going to be done for, finished. Then what? You're going to go England? You all going to go, like, you know, like the rich people are going to go over to India and be like, hey, can we go stay with you guys? The Indians are going to tell you, fuck no, get your fucking ass out of here. They'll probably go run over to Canada or something. It's like the these people don't understand. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say white people, but I swear it's like this white mentality or something. They don't understand the outcomes of climate change and what could happen just by ignoring it. It's like the out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. Like, if I don't see it, then it can't really happen. Like, it's gonna happen whether you like it or not. It's just these people see it and you don't. But you're gonna sit there and bag on them and belittle them and do all this stuff because you're being inconvenienced for a quick second. Like, all of us are going to be inconvenienced for fucking ever if you all don't fucking start paying attention. It's wild to me how, sorry, I know I'm probably repeating myself, but it's just like climate change is just so meaningful. I have such a deep feeling for climate change and for human existence and for people and animals and plant life and everything like that. And just to see the lack of empathy that people have for other people that are just trying to make a statement and open their eyes is so disheartening and disgusting to me. And it's like, and most of them are like, oh, let's just, let's protect the rich people. Like, how dare you do this to a rich person's building? Yo, fuck you. That person just got like huge amounts of profits in the last couple of years while we all suffered. You really think that you're going to sit there and protect this company because they like you? You think that they're going to give you a thank you note or something? Like, they're going to post it up on Twitter. Thanks, George, for stopping this person for putting orange paint on our building. They don't give a fuck about you. Why? Why care about them? Why? Doesn't make sense. It's like the mentality of like the daddy Elon and like, people that love rich people. Is why? What's the fucking point? You are never going to be him. Let's see. Join us in the People's Assembly at the National Demonstration on November 5th. Okay, so they're going to be doing some more. Breaking Just Stop Oil supporters march at Trafalgar Square. Very interesting. So they're still out there doing stuff too, which is good. I mean, it looks like they took a break, but they're still at least standing, in places and doing this. So yeah, it's just starting to look like a repeat now. God, that orange paint is thick. That's thick paint. I like my paint like I like my women. Orange and thick. Good job. I'm proud of these people. And anybody that, like I said, anybody that puts them down and talks shit about what they're doing, go get a life. Maybe do some research. Figure out where the fuck you live and if you're going to be alive in that area. The more you talk shit, man, the more I'm going to laugh if your fucking ass gets in trouble and you need to migrate somewhere because climate change actually did do something. I'm going to be like, should have listened to these orange paint motherfuckers. You had your chance. Now you want help? Okay. Look at that. They put this old guy in a police car. Boo on them. They suck. Look at this sweet old man. He's such a sweetheart. Why you got to do that? Hazel explains why she spent her Sunday afternoon on a road. Good for her. Tensions explode with a protester, result in them being dragged off the street by civilians. Yeah, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. They're literally physically harming these people because they got inconvenienced slightly from their work job. Look at him. I hope he goes to jail for that. Fuck you. Come and fight me. I'll fucking fight him. Public have had enough and they're physically moving the Stop Oil protesters. Still no police here. See? Just so they can be just because they're minorly inconvenienced, this is how they treat protesters. Yeah, I'd be punching a motherfucker like, don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me. Get off me. That's what I would be doing. I'd be hitting some dudes. I'm raised in the streets, though, so that's a little bit different on my end. I would, see? Like that dude, don't fucking touch me. Dude, both of her legs are on the ground. I would have been like, pulled up one, like put one leg on the ground and kicked the other leg up and then kicked him right in the face from behind. I'm telling you. No. Nobody touches me when I'm doing protests. You either let me do what I'm going to do or you call the cops on me. Don't fucking touch me. More public ripping the banners from the protesters, getting more and more heated. Good. Fight those motherfuckers. Fight them. Fight those people. They're literally just being inconvenienced for a quick second. I just don't understand. People are really fucking selfish. This is how you know that like humanity is just done for. That one fucking lady is pissed off. So she's going to ruin that whole thing and rip off things and piss other people off just because she's in a pissed off mood and she can't do anything. The lack of empathy is pathetic. Instead of asking, why are they doing this? What is the cause of it? How can we, what can we do to help? Do you want us to sit here and agree with you? Then, maybe they would get up from that spot and let them go. But no, this is how people treat people. Automatic anger. It's like that. Everybody is the king of their own bubble and nobody outside of it is worth anything. It's like your life to you is more important than everyone else's, and everyone else's. It's almost like a supremacy type thing, and it's disgusting. And it's not even like racist. It's like humanistic or something. It's like inbred in our culture of like, I'm just better than you and my life is more important than what you're doing. So get the fuck out of my way and move so I can live my life. Instead of, I'm being minorly inconvenienced. I wonder what the fuck is actually happening in the seriousness of it, because there wouldn't be people out here doing something like this for nothing. Little bit of fucking empathy. But no. None of that. Play Ring Around the Rosie with the police. Very interesting. What, Brandy? You're going to be a grandma? Congratulations. That's so cool. Did you just recently find out? Oh, that's so cool. I can't wait to find out if it's a boy or a girl now. How fun. Aww. I hate babies. Babies hate me. I kind of like babies, but babies do not like me for some reason. I don't know why babies don't like me, but I tend to scare babies for some strange reason. And I don't know why. I wish I knew why. But apparently I scare babies. So babies don't like me. But good. Yay, you got babies. I love babies. I love babies for other people. Okay. So what do I got? So it looks like next is the Paul Pelosi thing that happened. It looks like I've got a CBS, a Fox News, and then a video about Dr. Todd Grande. Or not about, a video by Dr. Grande, who talks about the guy who attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband. What's up, Odin? Odin, come here. What's up, big boy? You say hi to the audience? You're like right in camera view, boy. He's like, I just want attention. Huh. You want attention? He's crazy. You want to get up here? Come on. Up here? Odin. Up here. There you go. There's my Odin. Let's cover up the bum hole so nobody looks at the bum hole. Speaking of bum hole, I think yesterday's video, I got another fucking, I don't think it's a strike to where we can't go on live stream, but we got another strike. Age restricted one. Even though I don't put it up for kids on our videos. Like I say, it's not meant for kids. But apparently we got an age restriction. So he's showing off his coin. Yes, Odin. Odin, did you say hi this morning? He's like, screw you, I'm eating now. Hey, Burton, leave Odin alone while he's eating. You say hi, Burton? You want to say hi too? Say hi, Burton! Burton! You match my outfit. Look, your markings match my robe almost. It's like you almost disappear in there. He's the wild one. He's the one that's starting shit this morning because he got fixed. I thought that was going to calm him down, but I think it's just puberty. I really honestly think that because he's practically a teenager now, that he's just... That was my eyeball that you got your tail hitting. Oh my God. He's fucking wilding out right now. I don't understand. There he goes. Not Odin, Burton. Sorry, I'm getting all of your names mixed up. So I'm glad I have cats and dogs with names so I can forget them. Because if I had kids and that many names to remember, they would all hate me. Because I wouldn't remember any of their names. Come here, kitty. Hey, you want this? Get it. Go get it. Approved toys. That's how you get them to stop acting a mess. You give them a toy that they are approved to play with. And it helps for about a good 10 minutes. And then they're back in action again. Exactly. Yeah, it's the age. He is just a terror right now. It's really crazy too, because when I'm in bed sleeping, he will just stay there with me. He's super cuddly. He's so funny because he'll like crawl, put two of his feet on one side and then two of his feet on his other side, like his front feet and then his back feet, and he'll just lay on my face. And that's his favorite thing to do at night, is practically suffocate me. And he's just so sweet. But as soon as I wake up in the morning and I'm, doing my morning routine and stuff, he's just zooming, zoom, 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 zoom everywhere. And it's got to be his hormones or something. Definitely going through some kind of puberty phase. Teenage boy, you know how that goes. You constantly say the wrong name all the time too. Oh man, it's the worst. I feel so bad, but I'm like, they're animals. They'll never guess. They'll never realize it. Oh, I love that. Okay, so Paul Pelosi was attacked this week. And I thought it was really interesting how it's really how they're politicizing all of this, like turning it political. It's like party politics kind of thing, even though it's Nancy Pelosi's husband that was attacked. It's just that typical, like, Democrats are going to say that it was some extreme right-wing Trump supporter, but then, like, if you then there's also them saying, like, it's a that it's a extreme or then Fox News would say that he's like used to be an Obama supporter. So it's just like the party politics with this. Come on, lady, gotta get down, honey. I'm gonna play this video while I go run to the bathroom really quick.
Hi, I'm Sarah Donchi. Would you start with disturbing new details about the assault on Paul Pelosi?
KPIX5's Lauren Toms on the court filings that show the suspect had plans to tie up House Speaker Pelosi and even break her kneecaps.
Yeah, hey guys, David DePape is facing 13 years to life after being charged with both state and federal crimes related to that attack on Paul Pelosi. But new details released today by the Justice Department highlight the chilling and politically motivated nature of this attack. A federal complaint filed Monday paints a shocking picture of what unfolded at the home of Paul and Nancy Pelosi on the morning of October 28th, all directed at the House Speaker.
This House and the Speaker herself were specifically targets of the defendant.
DePape told officers he viewed Nancy Pelosi, in his words, as the, quote, leader of the pack of lies told by the Democratic Party. He said he intended to hold the House Speaker hostage and wanted to talk to her. He said if Nancy were to tell the, quote, truth, he would release her. But if not, he would break her kneecaps, a threat that warrants a felony charge.
This is shaking a lot of people. This is a terrible tragedy. But thank goodness for the quick response, the quick thinking of the dispatcher.
DePape came armed with a host of items intended to restrain Pelosi. Officers found a roll of tape, white rope, one hammer, zip ties, one pair of rubber and cloth gloves, and a journal.
It's something that I will tell you unnerved me as a political figure in this city. I think we've gotten to a point where we know that there have been tragedies in this very city of political leaders in the past. And so it's something that we have to take very seriously.
We're also learning that DePape made it well into the Pacific Heights mansion, making it all the way to the House Speaker's bedroom, where he confronted 82-year-old Paul, demanding to know where Nancy is.
We have to calm things down. We have to decide that we are going to be more respectful as an American society, that it's okay to disagree.
A conversation ensued between DePape and Pelosi, and eventually Pelosi was able to enter a bathroom to call authorities. But DePape said he refused to surrender and struck Pelosi, all in the name of fighting tyranny.
It is incumbent upon us all to watch the words that we say and to turn down the volume of our political rhetoric.
See, these guys are like, he's some crazy psychopath, blah, 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 which I understand he probably had some like mental health problems. But then they're turning it political, like we need to turn down the rhetoric of violence towards politicians. Then tell the fucking politicians to do their goddamn job. Tell them to do their goddamn job. Tell them to answer to their constituents. Tell them to stop taking corporate dollars. Tell them to stop taking antitrust money. Tell them to make their own $125,000 or $175,000 a year that they make as being a politician, and that's fucking it. That is all they fucking make. Let's do correct voting, so that way so that these politicians aren't making exorbitant amount of money so that they can put it into campaigns to help them win. There needs to be like free and fair voting. There's just so many things that we could do, or that you as politicians, them as politicians could do, to where this violent rhetoric and hatred and just like disgust towards these politicians would fucking stop if they would stop being corrupt. Like, I get it. Paul Pelosi and Nancy Pelosi were victims in this situation. But if you look at the bigger picture of it, of why this man was doing this, even as a liberal, you can fucking understand why this man was so upset. Like, yes, of course, a lot of us are not going to get to the point of where we're going to go and do something to these people. But I mean, eat the rich isn't for nothing, you know? Like, we're fucking mad and we're getting pissed off at these elitists and the fact that politicians are even turning into elitists when they're supposed to be servants of their constituents. That's the whole fucking point of this situation. They're going to make this guy seem like he's just out of control. This is something that he's been planning and blah, blah, blah. But he's fucking pissed. He's mad. What do you expect from these kind of people? He just actually went through with it.
We should be able to all
Wait, why did he say initially that he was? Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the part that I'm going to get to when we get to the Republican side of it. So the Fox News one next is going to be the good one. Oh wait, no, the CBS, is it I forgot to grab the Fox one. I thought I grabbed the Fox one. Okay, I'm gonna have to, we'll watch a CBS one, I believe, and that from like Gavin Newsom, what he's saying about it, and then Fox News. Yeah, Fox News is the only one that's talking about how he said that he was a friend in there. Which is wild to me. It's like the omitting of Democrats like CNN and then Republicans like in Fox News. The things that they're adding and the things that they're omitting is like the complete opposites, and it pisses me off. It's like, stop putting this guy into a stereotypical thing. Like, who cares what he believes? Who cares what politician he fought for? He's a fucking pissed off constituent. And I understand why, because Nancy Pelosi and her husband are fucking corrupt. Extremely goddamn corrupt. So Brandy, can you send that to me in Slack or Facebook Messenger or something, because I can't pull it up in here. Yeah, this is the find out portion of the fuck around and find out. Exactly. And we're all feeling this. It's just this guy had the balls enough to go out and do it. Oh well, I'm not inciting violence on anyone. Obviously, inciting violence isn't gonna, obviously isn't a punishable charge anyway, because it looks like, Trump can go off and do it all the fuck he wants to. But so I'm not inciting violence, but this is definitely like, fuck around and find out. This you got to the find out part of fucking around. You've been fucking around for how many fucking years, Pelosi's? Mm-hmm. Now you're going to find out. People are starting to get pissed, and it's starting to get to a point where they're going after you because they're tired of your corruption. Yes, there's probably he had other ones that he wanted to go for, but you were number one, bitch, which means that you're doing something wrong too. Because a lot of people are like, she's fucking corrupt. It's not the only time that people have messed with her house. Somebody spray painted shit on her garage. People have done things to her house. She should understand, maybe what's wrong with me that these people are doing this to me. Okay. Let's finish watching this while I pull up the video from Brandy.
Engage in passionate political discourse, but still remain respectful of one another. Violence certainly has no place in San Francisco or in politics.
Now, federal and state authorities teased even more chilling details to come as this investigation unfolds. But today we did learn that DePape said he intended to break Nancy Pelosi's knees so that she would have to be wheeled on to the House floor to show, in his words, the consequences of her actions. DePape is scheduled to be arraigned tomorrow afternoon.
Lauren, we also got word today that Nancy Pelosi may not have been his only target.
Yeah, CBS News has learned that DePape had a longer list of people that he intended to target, although authorities are not going as far to call this an actual hit list. But law enforcement sources say that he may have been planning to attack more people beyond just Pelosi. And today, SFPD Police Chief Bill Scott said that the SFPD is providing security for the Pelosi's and suggested in the future there could be an agreement between the department and the U.S. Capitol Police to provide protections for other high-ranking political officials who live in the city. Reed?
All right, thank you for that.
I love how high-ranking political officials in cities get so much more protection. Like, You're not powerful. You're supposed to be a servant to your constituents. Stop doing bad things. Stop being corrupt, and people would respect you instead of attack you. It's just like, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. These people are attacking me, so give me more security so I can keep doing what I'm doing. Fuck you, bitch. It's absolutely insane. Yeah, Brandy, I would love to play this. Unfortunately, I think this is extreme copyright. For sure, copyright. It's gotta be. For sure. But I know what the song is. The Heads Will Roll, where he's like off with his head, dance till you're dead. I know the song. Yeah, exactly. I'm only gonna be able to play a few seconds of it. You got to do like the actual. Where's the there's, yeah, off with your head right here, this part. Exactly. Off with their head. Get rid of them. They're fucking useless. That's that one. And then so here's the CNN and Gavin Newsom. Stop. Cat. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Gavin Newsom's version of what's going on and what he has to say in this whole situation. So we'll hear one side, and then we'll hear the Fox side, and then we'll hear Dr. Grande, who is a psychologist and a therapist, talking about the actual man himself, instead of having to hear it from, both sides of the same coin.
Welcome back to Red and Blue. I'm Caitlin Huey-Burns. CBS News chief Washington correspondent Major Garrett sat down for an exclusive interview with California's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom in Santa Fe, New Mexico on Saturday, where he was campaigning. He spoke about threats to elected officials following the attack on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul.
I've seen the dehumanization of Nancy Pelosi. I don't think anyone's been dehumanized like she has consistently. I mean, I watched this one guy, was it Jesse Waters or something on Fox News, what he's been saying about Paul Pelosi the last 5-6 months, mocking him consistently. Don't tell me that's not aiding and abetting all this. Of course it is. They're sowing the seeds of creating a culture and a climate like this. I mean, it's look online, look at the sewage that is online that they amplify on these networks and in social media to dehumanize people like Nancy Pelosi and other political leaders.
When Debbie Dingell on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like exactly what, that's sure that's what the Fox News and stuff does, but you don't realize that you guys do the same thing to the Republicans as well. So the hypocrisy is just fully out there in its full form. It's absolutely disgusting. And then he's like, let's blame it on the Republicans. So gross.
Distinguished member of Congress, Democrat from Michigan, tells Axios, someone will be killed who is a lawmaker. Is she wrong?
I don't want to feed that by even suggesting that's possible, but what evidence suggests it's not. I mean, I wasn't a baby in the 60s. I mean, I wasn't, look, I know what over the last 3 years has come in my inbox. Trust me, you don't, because I'm not sharing it. I don't even share it with my wife. I got 4 kids. So I know a little bit about this. I mean, it wasn't just a recall against me. It was surround sound in every way, shape, or form.
Because you fucking suck, Newsom. You literally fucking suck. Your ex-wife is like a beautiful mouthpiece for the Republican Party, which just goes to show like what kind of person you fucking are. Like, you literally are a Democrat who ain't doing shit for California. You are a piece of shit. Nobody fucking cares about you, Gavin Newsom. And I'm a liberal. I used to be a Democrat. Like, and you think that me being this mad at you, somebody who's on the Republican side, is it going to be even more fucking mad at you? Grow the fuck up, dude. Part of what happens, you be a shitty politician, you're going to end up having a shitty fucking life because of it now. People aren't dealing with your bullshit anymore. People aren't just bending it over and taking it up the ass like we had in the 1900s. Kids are starting to get smart, and they're starting to figure out how to fuck with you. Maybe you shouldn't be corrupt.
Of this venom.
At a level, I've had, look, there's always folks in the extreme, and you roll your eyes. It's just, there's
It
something.
comes with the arena, but this is different.
This is something's different here. There's, the mind is being stretched. People feel free to shove again. I mean, there's some certain universal values, and we just.
What's wrong with that? What's absolutely wrong with that? There is nothing different. Yeah, I mean, a little bit different because people are actually starting to stand up for themselves. You're seeing it with those protesters that we just saw for climate change. You see us progressive independent media people saying it everywhere, that they're no longer voting anymore. Nobody wants to fucking vote. I'm not voting. I'm not voting this time around, not for any politician. If I'm going to go vote, it's going to be for propositions, so that way they don't fucking try to bring gambling and for minors into my state and taking dialysis machines out. But what's the fucking point? Really, I understand what the point is, but holy shit, like, the things that they say really makes you not want to even be a part of the system anymore, because you're never going to get your fucking way. You're never going to get people. You're never going to get people. I don't know what I was just about to say. I'm sorry. Here's the, and Warren says it really, really well too. They blame Republicans for everything. And then as soon as the elections are over, they're back to voting for the same evil fucking shit. Exactly. It's the ratchet effect. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the ratchet effect. The ratchet. Yeah, the ratchet effect. Yeah, politics equal white noise. Exactly. So there's this thing right here called the ratchet effect. Hold on. This is a great picture of what our country does. This right here. So if you look right here, there's the ratchet, effect. So how are you being duped by the fake two-party system? So here's a wheel, right? And it's got those notches on it, all right? And this notch, and it's got this little, which is red, so representing the Republicans. And then you've got this blue thing right here that's connected to this little notch and can't go further forward. It always has to go that way. So with the ratchet effect, and it's blue representing the Democrats. So with the ratchet effect, what's happening here is this wheel is turning clockwise, okay? And so Republicans start turning things to the right, one notch by one notch by one notch. And so what the Democrats are doing is I don't think that they're blocking movement to the left. It's just they're not going to the left. They're just kind of sitting there. And what I see is that they do is that the Republicans do one notch to the right. Oh, here we go. Okay. Do one notch to the right. And then the Democrats just leave it there. And they never want to, move it to the opposite way to where they can, because they're in this little stuck thing right here, So like, here, wait, hold on. You guys can get a better picture of what it looks like. See? That's exactly how I feel. There's the Republicans. There's the Democrats. This is exactly how I feel our two-party system works. And this is something that has been stuck in my head for a really, really long time, because I seriously see it. It's like the Dems or the Republicans get a little bit ahead and they win, like when Trump won. And so they just start moving things more and more to the right. And the Democrats are like, no, we're just going to leave it here. This is good. We don't want to make it more to the left. We'll just leave it right here. And then the Republicans are like, no, we're going to do another notch. And the Democrats are like, okay, but not any further than here. This is where we're staying. No further than this area. And then the Republicans are like, no, we're going to do it another notch. And the Democrats are like, okay, but we're going to stay in this area no further. We're going to try to fight for the, to go back up those 2 notches that we just lost. And they're like, no, we're going to do another notch. And the Democrats are like, okay, well, fine. We'll leave it at that notch. But we got to go and eventually got to bring it back up a notch and bring it forward. And the Republicans and Dems look at each other and they're like, nah, it's exactly what's going on. Thank you. Yes, Miguel. This is something that is like visually that has been stuck in my head for a very long time of how I kind of see how politics work and how the Democrats and the Republicans are working together. Because this, if you look at it just straight up like this, it almost looks like Democrats don't really have a choice. They have to kind of follow what Republicans are doing. But I really, without this right here, this thing, would, like they're saying, like without this, Democrats, the Republicans would just continue spinning things to the right. But I think what's happening is it's controlling it, making it to where it's like we are the crab or the lobster in the pot of water. So instead of throwing us in there in a boiling pot of water, they're throwing us in there in lukewarm temperature water and then turning that fucking heat up to where we'll never fucking know that we are boiling alive. And that's what this controlled thing right here with this ratchet effect. God damn, I'm always pointing the wrong fucking way. That's why with this ratchet effect, it feels like what they're doing is that we're that lobster in the thing and they're just slowly turning up that heat, but never going back down with the heat. They're always keeping it going higher and higher and higher until we're fucking boiled alive and there's nothing we can do. It's the end of existence. And what's crazy to me too is like these politicians, these rich elite people, they don't care what happens to us, because if apocalypse happens, if the end of the world happens, they have bunkers. They're going to survive. They're going to live through this. And that's pretty much what they want anyway. So why are we, like, what's the problem with us fighting back? What's the problem with us trying to figure out, or trying to say, hey, you're fucking corrupt. Of course, people are going to lose their goddamn minds and go after people with a fucking hammer and attack politicians and their significant others. I mean, politicians, especially in America, have been killed for a really long time, especially people in activism. I mean, Malcolm X, you got Kennedy, you've got multiples, you got lots of people that have been murdered that are, representative of the government, representative of the corrupt politicians, or representative of really good human civil rights activisms, things like that. So this is nothing new, but this is the kind of thing that the government's doing to us, to the point where, yeah, people are going to get really, really, really upset. They are going to want to do something. And some people are, even because we don't have any mental health help for these people, it's going to get to a point where these people are going to get violent, because you don't give them any fucking mental help. What do you do when somebody has a mental health breakdown? People send the cops, and then these kids that have mental health breakdowns end up getting shot and killed. There's no help for them. So I don't understand why the government expects us to be good, civil, human, obedient sheep for them if this is how they're going to keep treating us. You push somebody into a corner long enough, they're going to end up fighting back. Look at any fucking animal. We still, just because we're humans and we're intelligent and we have a little bit of an evolved thinking process, does not mean that we do not have animal instincts and will fight back if we are pushed into a corner long enough. Humans can only take suffering for so long until they're like, I can't fucking deal with it anymore. Because you take away so much of everybody's everything, they're not going to have anything to be holding on to. There's nothing left to live for. That's it. That's their choice. That's what they want to do. And that's what I feel like what happened with this guy, and what's happening with a lot of us. He just actually had the guts enough to go and do something. And now they want to politicize it and turn it into some like Dem Repub back and forth. Like, this guy's this, no, this guy's this, no, this guy's this. And then we all need to be like this. Stop telling us what to do and change your fucking self. Stop worrying about the stick in my eye when you have a log in yours. Remember, when you're pointing the finger this way, there's 3 more pointing back at you. So fucking pay attention to yourself and stop worrying about how we're feeling. Make sure that what you're doing on your side with all that power is making sure that we all stay happy, so that shit like that doesn't happen to you next. Sorry. Went on a little bit of a rant there, but that shit seriously starts to piss me off when they turn it political, when it's the people that are just sick and tired of the way that things are going. The fact that we can't fucking handle this shit anymore and we're getting to our wits' end. It's exactly what it is. So there's the Gavin Newsom bullshit one. And so here's the Fox one. Yes, controlled opposition, go start. Exactly what it is. It's controlled opposition. They pretend that the Republicans are doing so bad and they're so horrible, but what's really happening is they're secretly allowing it to happen and then making themselves look like the victims. Typical Virgo mentality. I swear politicians are Virgos. Right? Seth Rich did not kill himself. Leak not hacked. Free Assange. 66 years. What the fuck? Release the laptop. There you go. That's his name, Seth Rich. I remember that. I absolutely remember that. There's a lot of things of like little things that I remember that a lot of people don't. Like during the 2016 campaign, Hillary Clinton met with somebody in an airplane and like talked some secret stuff. And like that was pretty much the same thing that they did with the whole laptop thing. So yeah, there's just some janky, dirty stuff that our politicians and our Congress and people in power are doing. Like Hillary Clinton, what the fuck is she? Like, why does she have so much power still? She's not anything. Why does Obama still have all this power? He's not anything. And he was shitty when he did it too. So I'm going off on tangents. This kind of the two-party system dichotomy, fight back and forth, the omitting and stuff like that, just to get their point across. It seriously starts to get on my nerves and really pisses me off because it's those big picture things that I see. All right, let's watch this. Get started on watching this. I want to go check on my daughter because she's woken up. So let me go check on her really quick and then we'll watch this.
Rushing to be by the side of her husband, Paul, as we get some brand new details on this act of violence. Paul Pelosi brutally attacked with a hammer inside their San Francisco home this morning in the early hours of the morning. Reportedly, the deranged suspect was shouting, "Where is Nancy?" when he entered the house. The speaker was not there at the time. New video appears to show a smashed glass back door where the suspect may have entered their home. Police responded to a wellness check. We're not sure whether that was a home alarm or a call from Paul Pelosi. We're waiting on those details. It happened around 2:30 in the morning when they encountered this.
Our officers observed Mr. Pelosi and the suspect both holding a hammer. The suspect pulled the hammer away from Mr. Pelosi and violently assaulted him with it. Our officers immediately tackled the suspect, disarmed him, took him into custody, requested emergency backup, and rendered medical aid.
So it is not clear from the chief's comments who was initially holding the hammer or whether the suspect brought it with him and used it to enter the home, or whether Mr. Pelosi perhaps grabbed it after he heard somebody breaking into his home. The 82-year-old remains hospitalized at this hour. Doctors treating him for blunt force injuries to the head and body. We're told that he's expected to make a full recovery, and we do not have any updates on his health. We know that Speaker Pelosi is on her way to be with him in California now. The suspect is in custody. He faces several charges, including attempted homicide and elder abuse. Police are still working to determine a motive, but neighbors and people who knew him describe him as having some truly bizarre behavior.
Well, here's where it starts to get to the crazy part of like the Republican spewing point bullshit.
With a hammer inside their San Francisco home this morning in the early hours of the morning. Reportedly, the deranged suspect was shouting, "Where is Nancy?" when he entered the house. The speaker was not there at the time. New video appears to show a smashed glass back door where the suspect may have entered their home. Police responded to a wellness check. We're not sure whether that was a home alarm or a call from Paul Pelosi. We're waiting on those details. It happened around 2:30 in the morning when they encountered this.
Our officers observed Mr. Pelosi and the suspect both holding a hammer. The suspect pulled the hammer away from Mr. Pelosi and violently assaulted him with it. Our officers immediately tackled the suspect, disarmed him, took him into custody, requested emergency backup, and rendered medical aid.
So it is not clear from the chief's comments who was initially holding the hammer.
Maybe I should find like a newer one. Is this like a little bit older? Yeah, this was like 3 days ago. What if I did like this one is only from 13 hours ago? And I fucking hate this dude.
Happy Halloween, apparently. I wouldn't know. I don't care.
Hello, school bus, right? And it's part of our experience growing up.
I'm trying. This fucking thing wants to freeze up on me. I'm not sure why. Oh yeah, this lady? Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it, Miss Lady. Get it. Oh, you barking and now you're done? You come up here. Come on. Come on. Oh, she does like this little circle on the ground and then she runs up really quick. She's super funny. Yeah, exactly. The broken glass outside suggests otherwise. So let's see what this one says. Because I had the good one last night from Fox News, but now it's gone. So
Ignored like Joy Behar's sex strike. And with all the homeless encampments, their new state motto should be the Golden Shower State. Their state bird, a $1.7 million toilet. I know it's not a bird, but they don't have a state appliance. So the suspect was a homeless psychotic, like tens of thousands on the streets. And they're a danger to you, but now also to politicians' spouses. The things that happened to everyone else finally happened to someone who matters, the husband of the speaker. He's not a cop, a retiree, or a student. He's rich and powerful. And if they throw the book at the suspect, they sure as hell better do the same for every other felon. Because this is a crime and it's time for punishment, and not just for the important victims, but for everyone. But with Dems, will they care? The perp already served a purpose. He gave Biden something to talk about between lying about gas prices and lying that he was raised by Puerto Ricans.
what is this guy talking about?
Abused naked nutbag finds his way into the Pelosi home, and
I can't handle Fox News when they try to be funny. There we go. Paul Pelosi's attack doesn't add up.
Okay, so I think the good news here is, as Christina mentioned in her report, Paul Pelosi is going to make a recovery, and that is good news. Everybody can agree upon that. Throughout the day, we've all been tracking the story, and it seems like hour by hour, there is new information coming out, a lot of it very confusing. Lara, I want to go to you quickly first. You know, in Christina's report, she mentioned that this suspect has ties to writing about QAnon and COVID conspiracies, but when he lived in Berkeley, he also has ties to an address there that had slogans of a completely different kind.
Well, that's right, and I think anyone trying to connect this guy in any way to a political party, to any other person, you can't do that. You know, we don't have a motive from police yet. We have very little information. So many questions at this point. I think the only thing we do know is that this guy was obviously very troubled, mentally unstable in some way, as we heard from his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend. And that's really all we know. But you're right, Anita. People are trying to cherry pick these certain things that he posted online and say, well, this connects him to somehow Republicans or conservatives. He lived in a house that apparently had slogans that a lot of people would associate with the Democrat Party or with liberals in some way. So you cannot at any point so far connect this guy in any way to a political party. And I think it's very reckless to do so.
Right. I think you're talking about Black Lives Matter slogans, LGBT pride, those sorts of things. So again, you can't put this guy in a box at this point. Back to the facts of the case. Again, drip, drip, drip has been coming out all day, providing more questions than answers. David, I want to go to you on this. Consider that this is one of the richest, most powerful couples on the planet. Right. Okay. And so where was the security alarm?
Which should not be happening if all she is a congressperson. She's not the president. She's not the CEO of Amazon or Twitter or, all these big companies. She is a fucking politician and a congresswoman at that. Not even a senator, not a higher up, no, in the actual, cabinet circle of Biden. She's not a president. Why is she one of the most richest people in the world, being just a congresswoman? Why are they even talking about it like it's okay? Like that's just something cool to talk about. It's disgusting. 2 minutes in, that neighborhood is sus. Usually gated communities have their own rent-a-cops too. Yeah. Dems will use this to defend funding for more cops too. Absolutely. Absolutely. And these guys, the Fox News is going to be like, well, it's people with mental health problems and we should be getting poor people off the streets and away from our homes because they're crazy and psycho and they're other people. So we need to get them outside of us and away from our neighborhoods.
Where was any security in place? I want to go show you something from the LA Times right now, talking about how the rear door, that's how the assailant got in. He got in through a rear door. Sorry, I can't see that quote at the moment here. Here we go. It's up now. The quote says, when police arrived and knocked on the front door, Scott said someone inside opened the door. The officers saw Paul Pelosi and DePepe, each with one hand on a single hammer. He said Scott confirmed that DePepe had forced entry into a rear door of the Pelosi home. And this is Scott we're referring to is the San Francisco police chief.
Right.
So the suspect accessed the rear door of the house. And there's no security. Where are the cameras? And also, what about the broken glass? What was that about? And when police came to the door, someone else opened the door. Who opened the door?
So,
what are you hearing?
You know what? Look for what's missing and what doesn't add up. Remember when we were taught who, what, why, when, where, and how? And then when you've eliminated all that is possible, whatever remains, however improbable, that might be the truth. If we did a wide shot on the house, there are high-resolution cameras on every corner of that house. That's easy to see. The glass appears to be broken outward. That's another question that needs to be answered. Police officers typically have their body cameras on, especially when entering a house like this. Where's the body cam video? Where's the security video?
Did you see that? Did you see that? You were right. Absolutely right. Look at the house. The glass. The glass is on the outside of the house right there. So that means that it was inside the house that they threw it outside. Because when you shatter glass like that, it doesn't usually stay in, or I mean come out. It goes in most of the time. So that's interesting.
Especially when entering a house like this. Where's the body cam video? Where's the security video? What type of security system? Who opened the door is someone that investigators...
I mean, that's obviously another good question too. Where's all the video cam footage? You know, the neighborhood is a gated community. Everybody has security. She even said that she was going to bump up her security system after the last time that somebody had done something to, I think it was when they spray painted her garage. Where's the footage? Where's the camera footage? Why is this so weird and not like giving out all the information? You know, what is going on with this?
Need to talk to. And for the San Francisco Police Department and now the Capitol Hill Police and others that are involved at the federal level, these are answers that demand these are things that demand transparency in the reporting, because again, an assault on potentially on a member of Congress's property, on her husband, and all of this, it doesn't add up. And to Lara's point, trying to assign this to one or the other, anyone who does that is not a journalist or a good pundit.
Yeah, I think the point here is that there are so many questions. Show
me the video. Right. Show me the audio. By the way, can I just throw this in there? The audio where it's where's Nancy? If there was a body cam when the police came in, that audio would exist.
Yeah, good point. Okay. Despite all these questions, the White House is really rushing to try to connect all of this to January 6th. Let's listen to the spokesperson.
The thing that is probably the most haunting about when we hear the reports of this assailant, of the attacker that we were speaking of, is that he was yelling out the things that we heard during January 6th, which is, where is Nancy? And, you know, again, we need to end this type of rhetoric. It needs to stop. And it is incredibly, incredibly dangerous.
Okay. And building upon that, the news source Axios had this to say. They put up this quote saying, a source briefed on the investigation tells me Paul Pelosi's attacker had a bag containing zip ties in a disturbing echo of January 6th. Why it matters, the presence of zip ties, it says, which can be used to immobilize a victim, add to the menacing circumstances surrounding the home invasion. So, Laura, let me go back to you here on this.
I love how they're like, they use January 6th as a reference to how deadly and violent and dangerous this was. Like, okay, yeah, January 6th was like crazy and wild and nuts, but I mean, the only person that really died there was one of their own. So what are you trying to say? What are you trying to tell us? Like that had like absolutely nothing to do with January 6th and had no similarities whatsoever, but okay, bro.
This rush to tie this to January 6th, do you think?
Oh, because January 6th and abortion are the only two things that the Democrats are running on in the midterm elections. And so there are folks out there in the mainstream media desperate to try and help them. Instead of actually waiting for facts to come out, they are rushing in. And by the way, I think it is disgusting and shameful. Joey, you said this yesterday on the show, for anyone to try and use this for a political motive in any way. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to harken back to January 6th. There is nothing to tie any of this to January 6th. The fact that potentially this guy was screaming, "Where's Nancy?" That has nothing to do with anything. That soundbite you just heard from the press secretary there was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, Joey, what do you think? Do you think this is a rush to judgment from the White House?
I think the White House is doing what the White House does. Listen, I take a little bit of solace in the fact that the person who would have me believe gas prices were cheaper now than they were at the height of them, or whatever the lie was yesterday about gas prices being at $5 when Biden took office when they were $2.30. The person who would lie to my face and tell me that, she can say whatever she wants to. I'm not going to believe her. American people don't believe her. Look no further than the polls of the local races, the Senate races, the governor races around the country to see where Americans are on this White House's ability to sow you a lie. Now, if we go back to this specific incident, listen, I have a lot more questions
The
than answers.
Republicans do the same fucking thing, bro. I'm pretty sure the Republicans do the same fucking thing. And if this was happening in the complete opposite way, and this was a Republican person doing this to, a Democrat person doing this to a Republican politician, they would be out there doing the same thing that CNN is saying, but in their own way. This is some, Obama-loving liberal who voted for Bernie Sanders. They would be doing the same fucking thing, exactly the same thing as what. It's like they're trying to play the victim card in this video. Like, oh, we Democrats are doing this and doing that. And it's just, they're playing the victim card right now. And it's bullshit. Exactly, Miguel. Thank you. Bullshit. Good morning, Les Bones. Good to see you. I am downloading Grounded as we speak. So we're going to be playing today. I'm excited.
I'll believe the law enforcement officers that respond to it. I'm not going to believe political operatives spinning a narrative just because they work for a 3-letter news agency and have journalists in front of their names. So I think people should just calm down and see what the facts are. I wish everyone that got their home broken into and was nearly beat to death got this kind of news coverage. That would be great. I understand there's some certain political motivations that may be at play. I get that. But I bet there are a lot of people in San Francisco who wish their personal rights and right to stay alive were as concerned by the cabal in charge as this human being. And I'll tell you this, if you break into my home and try to kill me, I will kill you first, because I live in a state that allows for me to protect myself. And anyone out there should try to educate and arm themselves the same way. We can't put up with people that act this way.
There they go. With the whole California, somebody was saying that yesterday, I believe, like California has like legal crime or something like that. Like if you murder somebody, you can just walk away and get away with it for free because it's legal crime in California. They were trying to, like, some of the Republicans were saying that, like, yo, come on, really? You really think so? You really think that? So you think that while you're sleeping in your bed and some guy comes in your house with a hammer, that you're going to be able to defend yourself right then and there? Bullshit, bitch. Try it. Fucking try it. These people, I swear, the Republicans who think like they're just, nobody can get me, I'm a badass motherfucker because I got my gun. Like, all right, bro. Try it when you're sleeping. Let's see how that goes. Let's see how fast you can go run and get your gun when some guy's beating on your face with a hammer. Good luck. So this is Dr. Grande. I really enjoy watching him. He's a psychology major. He goes into details about issues and what's going on. So he did a video about conspiracy theorists that are targeting Nancy Pelosi, and see how this goes. Let's turn up the volume.
Analyze the case of Paul Pelosi and David DePape. Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoy this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I'll put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the crime, then offer my analysis. This case involves two people, Paul Pelosi and David Wayne DePape. I will briefly look at Paul's background, then move to David's. Paul Pelosi was born on April 15, 1940. In 1957, Paul was driving a vehicle that was involved in a collision. His older brother was killed. Paul was later acquitted of misdemeanor manslaughter. As a matter of coincidence, his older brother was named David. Paul earned a bachelor's degree in foreign service from Georgetown University. During his time there, he met his future wife, Nancy Pelosi. At the time making this video, Nancy is the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives. Paul owns a company that's involved in real estate and venture capital investment. This has made Paul and his wife, Nancy, quite wealthy. Together, they are worth about $114 million. The couple lives in a $6 million house in the Pacific Heights neighborhood of San Francisco, California. In May 2022, Paul was arrested for DUI after being involved in a collision in his Porsche. He pleaded guilty in August and was sentenced to 5 days in jail. Now moving to the background of David DePape. David was born sometime around 1980 and grew up in Powell River, British Columbia, Canada. Relatives described him as reclusive, nonviolent, and heavily committed to video games. Sometime around the age of 20, he became estranged from his family and moved to California. David lived in Berkeley and was romantically involved with a notorious nudist activist. They had 2 sons together. She would later say that David was mentally ill and that he once believed that he was Jesus. According to a friend of David's, he once lived in a storage unit and had a drug problem. He made a living by selling bracelets made of hemp. He was extremely shy. For example, he was unable to open a bank account because he was afraid to talk to a teller. David allegedly sent disturbing emails to people in which he sounded out of touch with reality, appeared to be dangerous, and used biblical references to justify doing harm. By October 2022, David was living in a school bus outside the home of his former nudist lover. David made a number of unusual posts on the internet, including on social media. A few examples. He posted videos with offensive and bizarre titles. One video was titled, "Noah Survived the Collapse of Atlantis." David made blog posts which contained anti-Semitic and racist content and believed that colleges were becoming cults. He appeared to have an affinity for Adolf Hitler, Donald Trump, and Jordan Peterson, and was not a fan of Hillary Clinton. David believed that George Floyd died from a drug overdose, and his killer was falsely convicted. He posted links to multiple videos produced by Mike Lindell, who is the CEO of MyPillow. The videos feature Mike falsely claiming that the 2020 presidential election was stolen from Donald Trump. David did not appear to be a big fan of COVID vaccines and believed that global elites were using coronavirus to promote a new world order. He posted links to content on the QAnon conspiracy theory. David believed that he was being visited by what he referred to as an invisible fairy, who sometimes appeared to him in the form of a bird. He apparently wanted to buy a miniature house for the mythical creature on the website Etsy, but was frustrated because all of the miniature houses available there had fake doors. David wrote, quote, "They have a lot of fairy houses, but none of them are made for fairies," unquote. I find this interesting because one version of the mythology of fairies states that these magical creatures were angels who became trapped between heaven and hell. God ordered the gates of heaven shut, and some angels were locked out of heaven. This connects back with David's concern. Maybe he thought the mythical creatures would be standing outside of the miniature house, banging on the fake doors and saying, "Seriously? Again we get locked out? Why does this keep happening to us?" Now moving to the timeline of the crime. During the early morning hours of October 28, 2022, Paul Pelosi was in his residence in San Francisco. His wife, Nancy Pelosi, was in...
There's more signs that maybe this guy, like the DePape guy, maybe had some mental health problems and that you know, wasn't seeking any kind of help for it and all that stuff. But yeah.
Washington, D.C. According to the police, 42-year-old David DePape broke into the back door of the Pelosi residence and confronted Paul. At some point during the confrontation, Paul Pelosi told David DePape that he needed to use the bathroom. Paul called 911 at 2:27 a.m., but apparently did not feel as though he could speak freely on the call. It was like he was trying to avoid aggravating the intruder. The 911 operator heard Paul saying, quote, "What's going on? Why are you here? What are you doing to me?" unquote. The operator contacted police dispatch and described Paul's situation by saying, quote, "He states there's a male in the home and that he is going to wait for his wife. He stated that he doesn't know who the male is, but that his name is David and that he is a friend. He sounded somewhat confused," unquote. The police responded within 2 minutes and knocked on the front door.
There's the friend one. So he said that, you know, he's waiting for his wife to come home, that the guy's name is David, and that he is a friend. And that it took 2 minutes. I understand that it took 2 minutes for the police to get there because it's a gated community and that they're powerful people. So they're obviously going to go and help them first, no matter what, because they pay their bills. But him saying on the 911 call that the guy's name is David and that he's a friend, that's the iffy part. What did he do for you? How is he a friend? Why did you even mention that he's a friend? That's the interesting one. It's very interesting. I don't know what it could be, but he obviously might have, you know, allegedly knows this guy.
Or someone on the inside of the residence opened the door. The police encountered Paul and David in a physical altercation. Each of them had one hand on a single hammer. The police ordered both men to drop the hammer. David pulled the hammer away from Paul and attacked him with it, striking him in the head at least one time. At some point, David was shouting, "Where is Nancy? Where is Nancy?" The police tackled David and arrested him. He was in the possession of a manifesto containing anti-government beliefs and a list of other politicians he planned on targeting. David was also carrying a bag containing zip ties and other items. The media falsely reported that David was in his underwear, I'm guessing in an attempt to make him look bad, but David was already doing a pretty good job of that himself. Paul Pelosi was taken to the hospital and underwent surgery to repair a skull fracture, as well as serious injuries to his right arm and hands. He is expected to make a full recovery. Now moving to my analysis. Whenever a case like this comes up, it leads to the emergence of a series of predictable political arguments. For example, some Democrats are blaming Republicans for the attack, especially Republicans who support Trump. Nancy Pelosi has been a favorite target of people on the far right. Therefore, there's this idea that her critics have encouraged people to take things too far. Others argue that David's alleged behavior is isolated. He may have
There's
been inspired by
people
politics.
on the left that don't like her as well. So I think the only people that actually do like her is like her, her constituents where she's at, because it's all full of rich people in San Francisco that want to keep, them separate from the poors. So those people might support her. And then whoever's obviously in office that are corrupt anyway are going to be supporting her. But everybody else pretty much, I'm pretty sure, doesn't like her. So there's just nothing we can do because we don't live in her district and we can't vote her ass out. We have to expect those people to vote her ass out, but that's expecting rich people to actually care about regular people, which doesn't actually happen. So I think a lot of people don't like her.
But his actions were primarily fueled
Not just the
by
right.
mental health symptoms. There are two questions I'll answer as far as this attack. One, why has Nancy Pelosi become a target for the far right? And two, what were the thought processes of David DePape? Looking at the first question, why has Nancy Pelosi attracted so much negative attention from certain figures on the far right? There's something about Nancy Pelosi which really aggravates right-wing extremists and conspiracy theorists. She's a frequent target of criticism, despite there being other high-profile figures available, like Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. I think there are a few reasons why Nancy has attracted so much attention from conspiracy theorists. Nancy has been in politics a long time, therefore she is quite well known. She is in a leadership position as Speaker of the House. She has become a symbol of the progressive movement and is thought of as being on the far left. Many Democrats don't think that Nancy is actually on the far left, which is one of the reasons that some Democrats don't like her.
Exactly. So a lot of people don't like her because she's not on the far left. She's actually like a center right person. So this is where his little like bias kind of stuff comes in right here.
Francisco area, which is known as being a stronghold of liberal ideology. Perhaps that's one reason she's viewed as being extremely liberal. Nancy and her husband have made millions of dollars trading on the stock market. Some people wonder if they are using insider knowledge to do this. Nancy has been an outspoken critic of Donald Trump. She has even engaged in behaviors which some people consider disrespectful, like her sarcastic clap during Trump's State of the Union speech in 2019 and tearing up his speech a year later. Certain figures on the right view Nancy's image as consistent with popular conspiracy theories, like the idea of the wealthy liberal elite trying to take over the world, or the alien lizard humanoid takeover. There, of course, is another conspiracy theory which
wealthy, not just liberal, but wealthy elites are trying to take over the world in their own way, and they have succeeded through lobbying and paying politicians and all of that. Now, the lizard stuff, that's just fun and games. Who is this, Holly? His name is Dr. Grande on YouTube. He has his master's in psychology and likes to look at these issues and look at the psychological possibilities of all of this. I enjoy watching him. He's nice. He's a nice person. He's sweet, kind.
Binds these two, so the alien lizard humanoids are the wealthy liberal elite. To the far right, Nancy has become a symbol of all that they dislike in the far left. Whenever a politician is targeted with personal attacks, there will be those who misinterpret the political process and take inappropriate and sometimes illegal actions. This brings me to the thought processes of David DePape. In looking at the various reports about David, his personality profile and behavior seem to be consistent with other conspiracy theorists who have committed acts of violence. David was a loner. He allegedly had a substance use problem. He was socially awkward. For example, he had trouble making eye contact. He frightened people with his disturbing statements. He made posts on the internet which were racist. He believed colleges were indoctrinating people as part of a far left agenda. He thought coronavirus was part of a liberal conspiracy. David believed in the New World Order. He was attracted to the QAnon conspiracy theory. He believed that Donald Trump was cheated out of the presidency. And he believed that tiny mythical creatures were having housing problems. That one isn't actually linked to conspiracy theorists who commit acts of violence, but I thought I would throw it in there anyway. David had an intense fear of the liberal elite. Nancy Pelosi, as I mentioned, has become a symbol of the liberal elite for many right-wing extremists. Therefore, it makes sense that David would not be a fan of Nancy Pelosi. Moving to the next question, why do attacks like this happen? Is it because the political rhetoric has become inappropriate and inspires violence, or is there another explanation? There is no question that political rhetoric has become out of control and unhelpful. There was a time when members of opposing parties criticized positions, but now the tendency is to challenge the character of politicians. People don't know how to disagree politely anymore. The rise of cancel culture captures this lack of critical thinking skills pretty well. I think the fact that this political discourse has moved from lively to destructive has set the stage for disaster. Those who are vulnerable to conspiracy theories now have an ever-present, intense, and frightening narrative with which they can connect. People who have pronounced conspiratorial thinking often demonstrate cluster A personality pathology. They have schizoid, schizotypal, and paranoid personality features. Years ago, people like this didn't really have many places they could go to connect with other people about their beliefs. The conspiracy theories they came up with would follow predictable patterns and often involve aliens, the CIA, the FBI, and evil government conspirators. There wasn't much specificity with the conspiracy theories. No one person was singled out. Rather, the people maintained a general fear of an unknown enemy. They didn't feel as though they could do anything about it. other than complain to anyone who would listen. These days, with the internet and social media, a person with conspiratorial thinking can easily engage in a larger and more highly organized conspiracy theory, like QAnon. In a sense, ease of communication led to the construction of a community. This community is fed by political polarization. They use that as their raw material to build conspiracy theories. These factors come together to facilitate a higher level of organization. With this organization, people can manufacture content for conspiracy theories 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There is a seemingly endless supply, which radicalizes people who have conspiratorial thinking. In addition, the conspiracy theories are now filled with a lot of details, like the names of politicians who are supposedly evil conspirators. The people being falsely portrayed as the bad guys are no longer nameless. With this structure in place, instead of just having conspiratorial
That's part
beliefs,
of the evolution of the conspiracy theories, though. I mean, because I remember back in the day, I used to be all into that kind of stuff. Like, there's this evil cabal elite of, lizard alien people that are trying to run the world and blah, blah, blah. And then it evolved. Like, that's kind of how I evolved into the next part of it, was like, okay, great. You guys are afraid and scared of these invisible people. Who the fuck are they? What's their names? Do they got names? Like, come on now. I don't believe in like lizard people or, any of that kind of stuff. But there are really like these conspiracy theory people. They, like I was saying last week with other things, they get right up to a certain point and then they just do this hard right turn. And you're just like, where the fuck did you come up with that part? Like, you had the first part right. Yes, there are really powerful people that are in power, that are keeping themselves in power, that are paying their ways, like through lobbying and all of that stuff, trying to keep themselves in power to constantly make more money so that they have that power. But it's just like they get to that point and then they're like, and they're aliens and they're lizard people. And you're just like, can't they just be evil ass human beings? Why you gotta add alien lizard to it? Like, you're trying to make them more superhero than they are. Like, if anyone's gonna be the alien lizard people, please just let it be superheroes that come and try to rescue us, and let these bad people just be regular human beings who bleed when they cut themselves. That's what I look at them as, is like, at least in my part, like, it's come to a point where, yes, I don't believe that there are lizard people that are running the world or anything like that. Maybe Queen Elizabeth, but she's gone now, so at least that we know of. But but I don't know. It's just like, you can believe up to that part. Like, yes, there are really rich, bad people that are trying to control the world. But give them names, show their faces. Let's talk about who they are. Yeah, Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi is definitely one of the bad, really rich elite people that shouldn't even be that. Like, we're putting her in that part because she shouldn't be in there. She should be a politician, and she's acting like, even you guys, even they were saying earlier that she's one of the richest people in the country. She shouldn't be as a politician. Absolutely should not be. So the Queen has died 8 times and Charles will never take the crown. Poor Charles. Well, we know this fucking video is going to get striked today. This is going to be fun. Your mother-in-law is a member of Q and believes the lizard people are real. I think she has dementia. Hey, like I said, they're right up to a certain point. So DePape looks like Quentin Tarantino. How funny. After your procedure last week, she called your husband and told her all about it. Oh, nice. See, I have family members that are like that too, but when they're like, who are these, elite cabal lizard people, when they talk to me, and I'm like, they've got names and they're just really rich people, like the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and George Soros. Those are the really rich elitists that we need to fucking watch out for. The Queen and King, of England and of UK. Got to watch out for those people. They're in the same boat. Look for like banking elites, like really, really high rich people. If you've ever heard of the Bilderberg meetings that happens once a year in June, I believe. Those are the people that you have to watch out for sure, are those people. Yeah, they're not aliens or lizards or anything like that, but they're definitely elitist, have too much money, and are sitting there just sipping on their tea, enjoying the shit out of us talking shit about them while they keep making money, because we're distracting ourselves with so much hoopla and craziness and like conspiracy theories instead of going out there, finding the facts, and then trying to figure out a solution to the problem of these facts. Yes, these people are rich. Yes, these people are evil. Yes, they want to enrich themselves and don't care about the existence of humanity, probably because they think that we're overpopulated anyway and are just going to become more overpopulated, so they don't care about us. Find out who these people are. Figure out ways to make them have to pay and get, have consequences for their actions and what they've done to us. Get laws changed. It's like we have to. It's kind of like how the Democrats, how we had like a couple years ago, like the Justice Dems, they did the whole infiltrating the Dems. We obviously cannot infiltrate the rich people, but we can figure out solutions as to make them not as powerful. And it's stupid and it's boring stuff. It's like calling your politician every day to tell him, you want this passed to where you're being benefited, or we have to teach ourselves to go and lobby, and it's just all the stupid boring stuff that we have to do to try to change it. So, but that means that these rich elites are always winning, and they're always going to win.
People are motivated to act on them. There is a next level, which is described in the organized conspiracy theories, and people desire to achieve that level. Conspiracy theorists now see a solution to the fabricated problem, whereas years ago, they never did. Essentially, people who were paranoid and having magical thinking are now being given directions and encouraged to act. I think this is what happened in the case of David DePape. He was not inspired to violence exclusively due to an inconsiderate and destructive political debate. Rather, it was the entire conspiracy theory community that played a part. The attack on Nancy Pelosi is a symptom of a larger problem. It was partially caused by intellectually lazy arguing, which primarily features personal attacks. Those are my thoughts in the case of Paul Pelosi and David DePape.
I kind of like the what he was just saying right there, intellectually lazy arguing, instead of, because that's a lot of what conspiracy theorists do, is like it's just a lot of lazy arguing, and there's not a lot of things based on facts. It's just of what you've heard and like you've seen and what you've watched, but then they call that research. So then that's obviously good enough for them. To them, that's research. So it's a hard line. It's a hard, wobbly line to follow. I just honestly think like, yeah, okay, the guy, there's something wrong with the guy. Obviously, DePape was not, obviously in the best mindset, but the way that the news articles and the news people are politicizing it to make it seem like it's one way or the other is just crazy to me. Like the differences of what they're saying and stuff and all of that. So yeah, that's that one. Crazy. The elite call it targeted neutralization. Interesting. Targeted neutralization. Yeah. Depopulation. Population control. Yeah, absolutely. You're being sarcastic about something. Oh, about something she told your husband about the queen has died 8 times. Oh yeah, I bet they're crazy. They also believe that the queen is a lizard lady. So there's a huge rabbit hole about her. They're saying that like in the UK, she is actually the queen of the Illuminati lizard people. There were even like old school videos. God, I'm gonna get in so much trouble on YouTube for this. There used to be videos back in the day before YouTube went all like censorship crazy and started taking down videos and stuff. There was a girl in England, I think she was about 16 years old, saying that she used to, she was by them and that she was put in like some, basement with a bunch of other kids, the whole like, adrenochrome bullshit. So she was like, I guess 13 at the time, and they impregnated her. And this is what she was saying, that then she like went full on pregnant, that she ended up having the baby and they took the baby from her and, adrenochrome stuff. And what she was saying is that she had only looked up like once or twice because she was so scared about a lot of stuff. And then she looked up one time, there was a woman there who was supposed to be like the head of the thing. And, she said it looked closely like Elizabeth, like it was some old lady with, gray hair and stuff. But I guess she had like a tattoo on her stomach, like a huge ass tattoo on her stomach. I believe it was Baphomet, doing, his little as above, so below stuff. And it always made me think, like, what if that was the Queen of England and, like, she has a tattoo of Baphomet on her stomach and we'll just never fucking know. We'll never know. Because that's the kind of thing, like, they run off of with it too, is like, you hear these stories and you know, you're like, what kind of 16-year-old would come up with something like this out of nowhere? And then she, like, makes, you know, insinuations about actual people that are alive, and you're like, well, how am I not supposed to not believe that? You know, this little girl fucking said that shit. Oh my God. You know, I could see where, like, conservatives and, like, you know, the conspiracy people get stuck down those holes and stuff. Cause there used to be a lot of things out there that just ended up bringing more questions than answers. So yeah, their conspiracy theories are crazy. So having you know, having her say that the queen has died 8 times. Yeah, I could see how they could believe that kind of stuff. So for sure, for sure. I know more than I want to. Yeah, you're telling me. That's how I got to where I am today, is just getting I got myself caught down those rabbit holes of all of that stuff back when, you know, YouTube still used to be the wild, wild west. Reddit still used to be the wild, wild west. You could get away with watching literally everything if you just knew the right websites to go to. And I could see people getting caught down those rabbit holes and not getting themselves out of it. Cause yeah, it took a lot for me to get myself out of it. I definitely got far down the rabbit hole to where I got to a point where, like, I was watching people on YouTube that were like, had aliens coming inside of them and then talking through them, like Al Bashar, I think his name is, Al-Bashar or something like that. I got really into it to that point to where, like, I was trying to figure out how I can meditate and get aliens to come and talk to me, and try to figure out how to get rid of these other evil lizard alien people in the world that are controlling it, to figure, you know, like, when I say my name is Jimmy Saves World because I stole it from Jimmy Eat World, dude, that shit used to go deep for me, because I literally thought that I was, like, single-handedly the person that was gonna get us out of all of this, like, elite rich cabal alien lizard people kind of stuff. But I ended up looking in, like, me and my friend got really deep into it. He got a little bit too far into it and kind of scared me, and I was like, oh my God, like, this guy could possibly kill me because of the kind of things that we believe in. Like, what if he ends I got super paranoid thinking that he probably thought that I was some kind of alien creature being. And I think I scared myself out of it. And then that's when I was like, okay, hold on, let me take a step back. Let me see what the fuck is really going on. You know, when you're in something so deep, you never look at the bad stuff about it. Like, the people that are like, no, this is not this. This is not what this means. You're just too far into a rabbit hole and getting yourself stuck in paranoia. So I had to step back, take myself out of that whole situation, and start, like, asking the questions that you should be asking, instead of, you know, these nameless, faceless, evil people, you know, like the Red Scare and all of that stuff, like, you know, Illuminati and all of that. What are their names? What do they do for jobs? Do they have family members? What are their family members doing, you know? And that's when I found out they're just like regular people. They're not like any kind of lizard alien people. Like, I really got into the Rothschilds and wanting to know about them. Come to find out, one of the grandkids of that main Rothschild's old dude is married to Paris Hilton's sister. Like, a Hilton girl married one of the Rothschilds. Like, that's how, I don't know, you know, lizard people, I guess they are, you know, because I definitely don't believe that Paris Hilton and her family are lizard people at all. They're just, you know, they got lucky making a bunch of Hilton hotels and now they have a lot of money. I don't see them as, you know, like the Rothschilds. So it just, I had to take myself out of that whole situation and kind of, you know, do some actual outside research. I mean, I was even watching like those spirit science videos every night, where that little cartoon dude is that talks about, like, how the humans used to live on planet Earth, that were all, like, you know, right or left side brain, where they're, you know, everything's peaceful and calming, and then, like, some, you know, alien race from Mars came to Earth, and, like, this is why we have, like, this patriarchal war type machinery kind of life on Earth, is because of these alien beings from Mars that came here and took over. Like, I used to get really deep into that stuff, really deep. So I suggest that anybody that's that deep into it really try to take a step back and try to figure out like who these people are. Their families have, you know, Twitter and Instagram accounts with their pictures being released and stuff. So it's not like, you know, what I feel bad for this DePape guy because I feel like he just got himself a little too far deep into that rabbit hole, didn't figure out a way to get himself out. Obviously, he has some, you know, medical or mental health problems as well that he definitely needs to keep a lookout. But the anger and the frustration and the hostility towards these politicians, I completely understand. We're all angry. We just don't have the guts enough to go out and do it yet. That's all it is. Like, yeah, that's all. So. Hi, person in the comments. Are you not? Whoa, dude. Whoa. 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 I'm probably sure it's probably because of my conversation that I'm talking about right now. Now I'm about to get some racist motherfucker in my comment section talking. Why is your name that? And why are you in my comments like that? It's so gross. Come on. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, no. Okay, anyway. That's that. That's on there. There's my rant for the day on that. Obviously, as you guys can tell, I have not smoked any weed today. My brain is just everywhere right now. Oh, good. Okay, I'm back down to 6. Maybe that Ku Klux Klan person left. Do you guys see the comment section right now on YouTube? Whoa! You know how scary that shit is for me? Right? Thank you, Brandy. I'm just like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. I'll get to the next one because I think I got too far into a rabbit hole talking right there, and then I'm going to start getting all those crazy people that come in. You know what kind of people I do miss and that should come back into like people's comment sections from back in the day that I remember? Those people that always were like, you got a couch right there. You selling the couch? Remember the couch for sale people that always came into live streams that wanted to like buy a couch? That shit was so fucking funny. Oh, good days, good days, good days. Okay, so the next one that I want to talk about is, okay, so the feds are keeping Facebook censorship portal despite the DHS's disinformation board demise. So the Facebook is keeping this portal for censoring people that they don't, you know, agree with, even though the Ministry of Truth is pretty much like no longer existent. What is this? Oh no. Oh, that was the crash, the bridge that crashed. Okay, so government and law enforcement officials are able to request censorship of Facebook and Instagram posts using a special portal. PS. No, you live close to them. You ain't scared. I ain't scared of them either. It's just weird to see them in my comment section. That's all. Trust and believe. I'm from the Antelope Valley. I'm from Lancaster, Palmdale, California. So, you know, KKK people do not scare me whatsoever at all. I'm sorry, dude. The KKK dude in my comment section. I'm not going to put your post or your comments up because of your name. I don't want anything to do with that on my show. So if you decide to come in and comment on here, maybe you can go to a different account that doesn't have some kind of hatred on there. Because, you know, I might be white and I might be cute and you might like how I talk and what I say, but I don't respect people that come at me like that with that kind of stuff. So if you want to talk to me, maybe you should switch it to a different YouTube account and then come in here a little bit differently, because I'm not going to answer to that. So yeah, I guess just keep commenting and I'll just keep ignoring you. I'm sorry, bro, but you want to have a regular conversation with me, you can talk to me like with a regular account. That's kind of gross. PSA, John Leguizamo's Latin History for Morons and Netflix is a must. Okay, I'm down to watch it. Anything with John Leguizamo is great, so I love it. I'm down to watch it. And I just got Netflix from Amber, so I haven't set it up or signed in yet or anything like that because I'm like trying to take my time. I don't want her to think like, I'm trying to use her or anything. So I'm taking my time, giving it a little bit of time. And then I'll get into the Netflix and see what I can watch, because there's a couple of things that are really good that I want to watch on there as well. So you have a compound a few hours away. They're gross. Yeah, go move out to Lancaster, Palmdale. There's like no way of getting away from it. It's like everywhere. They're like out there. It's almost like they run the town, kind of like how like Hell's Angels and the Mongols used to run towns and areas. They seem to run the town out there, like to even the point where like the cops are friends with them out there. It's wild out in Lancaster, Palmdale, how nasty and racist and like openly racist people are out there. It's gross. It's gross. I got some stories, man. I got some stories. So, being out there in your 20s in the Antelope Valley and then working at a strip club like I did, you kind of have to deal with these kind of people all the time. Like you literally see them everywhere. You can't get away from them, especially in a strip club, because they all want to come out to the strip club and, check out the strippers and shit. So totally, you just can't get away from it. It's everywhere. I got some really wild stories one day, maybe if something big ends up happening with those kind of people, maybe we'll get into some stories about them. But yeah, they're pretty gnarly. They're pretty shitty, closed-minded, pretty evil, pretty mean. Yeah, they're not nice people at all. So Boone County, yeah, I bet, yeah, that's what they do out here. Is Antelope Valley protects them out there. The Antelope Valley Sheriff's Department, which is like the northernest point of Los Angeles County, is the Lancaster Palmdale area where they are. And there's also the LA Police Department has a secret gang where they get these matching tattoos. I believe it's a skull or a dog or something like that. They get these matching tattoos to where they are secretly in like this like white supremacy LA County Police Department gang. It's wild to me how that's how they are. Like, of course, the Antelope Valley, like Lancaster, Palmdale, and like Simi Valley, and Ventura, all of those areas over there are super racist because the police officers are just as racist out there as the people are. So yeah, in like LA County has the LA County jail. So like anytime that people would get released from the jail, not the prison, just the regular jail, they would get a bus token or a train token. And the train, you can take it, because that was the end of it there. You could take it north and it would take you all the way to Lancaster, Palmdale. And that's pretty much like where the train would stop dropping to drop people off, was right there. So people would just be bussed and trained from the LA County jail to Lancaster, Palmdale, where they all stayed. I mean, if people were registered sex offenders, they had hotels out there on Sierra Highway for them to live. So there was like, 3 or 4 hotels all in a row on Sierra Highway that would just have those people living in them. So Lancaster, Antelope Valley is just a really, really, really bad place now that, that these racist people have just kind of thrived on. LA County is just people thrive on racism out there. It's yeah. You saw that about the LA police gangs. It's true. It's absolutely fucking true. I have seen police officers go over to racist people's houses and just hang out with them. It's wild to me. I've never, so gross. Have you seen the high school dropouts as black-faced inmates at Walmart? I have not. I don't pay attention to people that do that kind of stuff. I think it's just mean that they do blackface. That's typical, more racist things to do. But yeah, Antelope Valley, there's a huge, huge, huge swath in California of an area that is just full of racists. And it's mostly like LA County, the high desert, even like out here where I live too, like San Bernardino County. Then you've got like Hesperia, like up in the high desert again, up north of me, like all the desert from like LA to Las Vegas is just covered in races. You'll notice like LA to Vegas, it's just all this desert and there's all these little pockets of towns everywhere. And it's all full of racists. It's smothered, it's covered. You just can't get rid of it. It's wild and it's disgusting. And what sucks is like, because I grew up out there, like, you know, you hang out with like one or two white people when you're living in that town, and you end up meeting and getting and knowing, or meeting and getting to know somebody that ends up being racist that you never even would have thought was. So yeah, it's wild, the things that you can get yourself caught up in out there, and being a part of things that you don't want to be a part of just because it's out there, and you already are like, hey, this is my friend. Oh shit, this person's a racist and hangs out with these racist people. Holy fuck, what did I get myself into? Yeah. Google Harrison, Arkansas on YouTube. I bet. It's crazy to me. Yeah, the Antelope Valley is just full of them. I bet you that fucking racist person in the comments section is from out there as well. I mean, they're fucking everywhere too. So yeah, it's wild. Like I remember there was one time I was hanging out with my friend, and I guess his like racist friend knew where he was or something like that. I don't know how he found out where I lived. But he came like busting in through my front door like he fucking knew me and knew, like, you know, knew us or knew me and knew my house and everything. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And my friend's like, it's just my friend, just gonna be here really quick, then he's gonna leave. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And I started looking at this dude, and he's got like what is it? Like a German soldier or something on the back of his head, nailed to a cross. He's got like the Thor hammer. He's got like a swastika tattooed on his chest and shit. And he comes in my front door, and he looks up at my friend, and he's like, yo, you wouldn't believe what I just did today. It was so fucking cool. You know, he felt like he was like, you know, the man on top. And what he ended up doing was, I guess he was in a Walmart parking lot, and he sees this black guy driving a car in the parking lot getting ready to leave. And so he goes up to the dude in the parking lot in his car, like the racist guy goes up to the black dude driving his car in the parking lot, points a gun at him, and tells him he better call himself the N-word or else he's going to shoot him. So that guy in the car had to sit there and call himself the N-word in front of that dude so that dude can have a little laugh about it, or else he was going to be shot. And it was funny to that dude. I was like, yo, you need to get your friend out of my fucking house right now. I cannot believe I'm even listening to this shit. I was like 24 at the time, never even knew shit like that could even happen. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me, right? Oh, it was so gross. I'm not friends with that friend anymore. As obviously as you could tell, I don't even live in that fucking town anymore. That whole fucking town is just disgusting, and it's just full of people like that. I'm like, how fucking dare that person do that to a person who is just going shopping? The stories, man, the stories that I've heard out there when it comes to the racist stuff, like I could write a whole fucking book on things that I've heard and the things that I've seen and the things that I've had to witness out there. It's gross. There's a whole area out there called the Devil's Punch Bowl in the Antelope Valley. Okay. And it's a desert. It's all a desert. And there's a town in there, or a little area out there called the Devil's Punch Bowl. It's a little town, maybe like 100 people are in that whole town. But the reason why it's called the Devil's Punch Bowl is because it's right on the San Andreas fault line. So the town kind of goes down and up like a bowl, because that's where the fault line is. So like there's two sides of the fault line right there. So that's where that town is, and it's called the Devil's Punch Bowl. Well, out in that town, there's some like hills have eyes type stuff. So what they did is they dug out this huge area in that desert, drove like a bunch of like trailers, you know, like the RV mobile homes, like the old school ones, like the really nasty old school ones, put them all down in this hole, all one right next to each other, and then cut holes in the wall so it was like one long thing, and then covered it all with dirt and did it opening into the underground. So it was underground trailers in the desert, buried, and people were living in them, like hills have eyes type shit. And I didn't know it was there. I was going with one of my friends. I didn't know that he ended up was a racist, because this guy was full on indigenous, like dark skin, dark hair. He was Native American. Okay. He just had a drug problem, bad drug problem. I knew him in like drug places, like the rehabilitation places, because I was obsessed with like trying to do like the whole better yourself thing. So I wanted to try what the 12 steps were. So I had to go to meetings. Ended up meeting that guy there. He was like, you know, I got to go over to a friend's house. Can you take me over to my friend's house? So this is where I took him to, was over here. I went into there. And I fucking kid you not, there was a woman handcuffed to the stove, butt naked, crying, saying, please, I just want to go. They were kidnapping people under there and no idea what they were doing to them. But that's an actual town out there. So it's fucking disgusting. The sickening Antelope Valley is just gross. It's probably one of the worst places in, you know, it's like right up there with, you know, Arkansas and you know, Appalachia and all the rest of the really, you know, like sundowner type towns. It's disgusting out there. It's horrible. So take that, Mr. KKK, in the comment section. All right, I'm done giving out too much information about my life before I get canceled. Okay. I swear to God, I'm going to get canceled for this shit one of these days. Okay, feds are keeping Facebook censorship portal despite DHS and from disinformation board demise. It looks like Facebook is still keeping this portal to give people strikes or to ban their accounts. Warren recently got his account banned again on there. So I think this is what they're doing and what's going on. Good morning, kid. Decided to get out of bed now? Yeah. So government and law enforcement officials are able to request censorship of Facebook and Instagram posts using a special portal, despite the Biden administration's failed attempts to establish a disinformation governance board, according to a new report. The previously unknown portal allows officials with government or law enforcement email address to request censorship in the name of fighting disinformation. Facebook reportedly created the portal for the Department of Homeland Security and other entities to squelch content. So it looks like Facebook had a hand in the Ministry of Truth's what it was wanting to do about, you know, censoring people. So the link remains live despite the public furor over the proposed board to police domestic political speech, which was scrapped earlier this year due to backlash and questions about its legality. The social media giant did not immediately respond to the post request for comment on the portal. This disbanded DHS board was likened by Republicans and also some left-wing libertarian critics to an Orwellian Ministry of Truth after it was announced in April. The disinformation board was announced shortly after billionaire Elon Musk reached an initial deal to buy Twitter in order to implement pro-free speech and anti-censorship reforms, heightening suspicion that it would be used by the administration as a bludgeon against free expression. The Intercept report revealing the special portal was published just days after Musk formally took over Twitter and fired top executives, blah, blah, blah. Critics of the DHS board said that its mission ran afoul in the spirit of the First Amendment, which shields citizens from government actions to curb free speech. Senator Haggerty, Republican from Tennessee, and other critics charged the board's creation may have been illegal as well, pointing to the Anti-Deficiency Act, which says that executive branch can't spend money unless Congress authorizes it, and to Congressional Review Act rules for new regulatory measures. Ironically, so-called disinformation expert Nina Jankowicz was expected to lead the DHS censorship board despite repeatedly casting doubt on the post, reporting on documentation from Hunter Biden's laptop, which the Washington Post and New York Times belatedly verified. Then White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said at the time that the board would merely continue anti-disinformation work underway during the Trump administration. Only during the Trump administration, though, not during the Biden administration or the Obama administration. Just during the Trump administration is when we needed, you know, the Ministry of Truth. Such fucking bullshit, man. Where is it? Where are they talking about it now? Oh, yeah, that's right. Facebook is still doing it. So it's been privatized. That's all. So it's now private companies can sit here and tell you what you can and can't say. So she only in Facebook though, and Instagram. So she highlighted the work of the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, whose former director, Chris Curbs, was fired by President Trump for rejecting his claims about 2020 election fraud. Skeptics of online censorship note that remarks deemed disinformation can later gain widespread acceptance. In one instance of since repealed censorship, Facebook banned discussions of the Wuhan Institutes of Virology possible role in the cocoa pandemic. Government officials who had steered funding towards risky research conducted by the lab said it was unfounded conspiracy theory, but later gained broad credibility, including from U.S. spy agencies who labeled one of the two possible explanations for its origin. Yes, see? Yes. So they're like trying to keep us from even talking about possibilities that could be the truth until they deem it okay for the truth to come out. It reminds me of how they're like treating like, you know, the alien conspiracy theory stuff from the, like the CSI or the CIA or the government and shit like that. That's wild to me. Dude, I pump up like 2 or 3 viewers when I talk about racist, and then as soon as I stop talking about it, I go back down. These incels in here, I swear. What's up, kid?
I'm craving a smoothie.
I heard you, and I don't know what to tell you. If you look in that drawers, on the left side or the right side, see there might be a cucumber in there. I'm not sure if I got cucumbers. There's mangoes in there though. I don't have anything for smoothies.
Order a bunch of fruit, including cucumber.
I'm not gonna order food right now. Okay, at some point I will order some fruit so you can have some smoothies, but not right now. I am doing this right now. Okay. So that's what they're saying at the New York Post about them keeping, at least Facebook, keeping censorship going. Then yesterday, the Breaking Points did one as well. They had a guy come in from The Intercept named Ken Klippenstein. I don't know who he is, about his exclusive. I guess he did an article about the secret efforts by the Department of Homeland Security to control information flows online. I think he does talk about Facebook in here as well. So we shall watch. Huh? Sam? Oh, yeah, Sam's in the background. Warren says hi. She said hi. She still has her costume on from yesterday. You notice that? She like walked by in a tie-dye shirt. She still got that bad boy on. She's so cute. Okay. Let's watch this and see how it goes. I have to pee again. I'm like running. I'm drinking too much coffee.
Have our great friend Ken Klippenstein, who is an investigative reporter for The Intercept. Great to see you, my friend.
Great to be with you guys.
You got a big old scoop this morning. A lot to unpack here, and it's quite explosive, actually. Let's go ahead and put the element we have up on the screen. The article that's out this morning is titled "Truth Cops Leaked Documents Outline DHS's Plans to Police Disinformation." Some of the key takeaways here that you have, Ken, are that even though DHS said that they shuttered their quote-unquote disinformation governance board, what you have found is that underlying work is still going on. You also found some of the specifics about what they're targeting here on the origins of COVID-19, efficacy of COVID-19 vaccines, racial justice, U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, and also the nature of U.S. support to Ukraine. So just to start with, what are your sources here? What's the information that you were able to gather, and give us the big picture of what the government is up to here?
Yeah, so this came from sources that I have within DHS, FBI, and also court records that are coming out from an investigation by, I think it was the Missouri Attorney General, looking at these things, and under discovery, they're able to release some of the primary source documents that they're getting. And then just, the kind of big strategy assessments that they tend to put out that nobody reads because so much of it is so boring. But if you can, stay awake for long enough, you can find some really interesting details in them.
Interesting. Okay, so talk to us about this portal. You said that Facebook has created a special portal
for DHS and government partners to report disinformation directly. Do we have an indication that's still in existence? Like, the takeaway for me from the story was they fired, the Nina Jankowicz lady, but they essentially just renamed it and are keeping the entire project alive and actually keeping it going even far past that.
Yeah, that was essentially my interest in doing this story. Is I saw this huge end zone dance on the part of civil libertarian types that the Disinformation Governance Board, very Orwellian title that people can get around and see how crazy this is, celebrating that it was shut down. And I very quickly, almost instantly, was hearing from sources within DHS that that's not the case. Like that Disinformation Governance Board was an attempt to sort of centralize and formalize at a leadership and headquarters level what was going on, but that was still going on at the component.
Top-down politics. They wanted information to be sent out to the people from the top down instead of people looking at everything that should be transparent, fully transparent, and coming to, the conclusions, and for everybody to have the right answer because everybody's figured it all out, or what, they should have just been transparent in the first fucking place. So this was their fault, and now they're trying to punish us even more because they fucked up on information that we were actually coming out with. We were finding out information about things, about the cocoa virus and everything that was going on with that. But they were telling us that we were wrong and they were banning us for misinformation. But we were actually, some of us were right. The people were fucking right. We were all fucking duped, and they were like, no, you're wrong. You're going to be banned. You're going to be canceled for saying the wrong thing. But we weren't. They were saying the wrong thing, and now they were wanting to bring a ministry of truth to try to make it even worse. Super, super Orwellian. It's disgusting how it happened.
Level of all of the different child agencies that are within DHS. So this story is an attempt to try to sketch out, okay, so what does that mean? What does it look like? Because there's so much speculation and sort of guessing as to what it is. And there's very little in the way of just what are the facts of what's happening? How are they doing this? And what is their authority?
So lay that out for us. How does this actually, what are the interactions between DHS officials and these tech platforms? What sorts of content are they flagging as potentially problematic? Because they have these disclaimers in their emails like, of course, we're not telling you to censor. We're just saying you might want to look into this. Give me a specific example of how this might all unfold.
Yeah, so they've been having bi-weekly meetings as recently as summer. That's as recently as I'm able to get proof. Doesn't mean that it's not still happening. I assume it still is. Between these DHS sub-agencies, kind of taking point is CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, but also FBI and other agencies are meeting with these social media companies like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. And it's what's interesting about it is, just like you said, their rationale for it is, we're not actually telling them what to do. We're just recommending it. And
just
that's
making suggestions.
Right. And it's
such a lie. They were telling us what to say instead of recommending it, because they would, when you would see that, it wouldn't even show you the picture. It was like they would cover it up and say this is done misinformation and have all this stuff underneath it. They made it so much harder than it should have been. There was no way they were trying to make us or suggest that we say something different. They were forcing us to say what they were saying was right when they were fucking wrong in the first place.
Disingenuous, because it's like these companies are lobbying the federal government on different things. You think they're not gonna? You think they're gonna want to alienate the guys that they're trying very hard to ingratiate themselves to get certain forms of treatment? And so that's the kind of hand's length that they try to hold themselves at. Is that we're not mandating it, we're just recommending it. But when you look at the documents that we found, there's no indication that the social media companies are saying, whoa, we're not doing this. We're putting a red line here. They've gone ahead with it.
I mean, the crazy one to me is Afghanistan. The fact that things that are outright just politically bad for the Biden administration are being included in terms of recommendations. So do we know, does anything happen as a result of this? What does the data suggest? Did Facebook ultimately take action? What do they describe the type of action? What does the interplay look like on behalf of the tech companies as to the actual effect of these policies?
Well, on the public side, sometimes you're able to see when they literally just take a post down, as they did with the Hunter Biden laptop story. It was some bizarre thing where it was like they froze the post. They didn't take it down. They're so clever about these things. They don't, they try to do things where they're not actually taking down. For example, I have a source in Google who was describing to me, they didn't actually make it so you can't find it. They just made it so that the search results put it so far down that
downgrade.
realistically you're not going to see it. So then they say,
Mm.
well, we're not actually censoring it. You can still go to it. We're just in effect going to make it so no one can find
That's
it.
honestly crazier. Yeah, it's almost crazier than deleting.
Same with
Right.
same with Twitter and
So
these
pretty
things.
much they're
So there's always
censoring it. I mean, that's what they're doing is they're censoring it. So sorry, my dog fucking just threw up over there and I had to go clean it up. Fucking gross, man. He keeps eating the cat food.
I think there is a lot of awareness on their part that we don't want to go like so far that it's going to be completely naked and try to give ourselves some deniability in terms of saying, you know, we're putting recommendations out there, we're throttling traffic to it, we're not taking it down. So they really like to operate in the gray, I think.
Well, because honestly, if Twitter had taken that approach with the Hunter Biden story, it probably wouldn't have blown up into the big national example of censorship that it ended up being, because they went much further than, let's just suppress this in the algorithm. Let's make it so this isn't the first thing that's showing up. Like, you know, now people in their Twitter feed, unless they select to have it just by time, they're just getting the tweets that Twitter thinks that they will like or wants them to like and see. So ultimately, if they had gone about it in a savvier way, I mean, that's what's so nefarious about this. People wouldn't have even been able to really say exactly what was going on here. One of the other things that you uncover is the Hunter Biden censorship incident, as notorious as it ultimately is here. The people who are involved in that are still involved in this project.
Right. And so the FBI has something called the Foreign Influence Task Force, which the Department of Homeland Security does as well. And it's almost exactly the same name. I think it's the Countering Foreign Interference Task Force. And so what that gives you a sense of is the burgeoning nature of these authorities. It just keeps growing. And if you look at it, a lot of it starts in 2018 under the Trump administration. So it's a little more complicated than people think. That's not to say that Trump liked it. He actually fired his CISA director, I think, Brian Krebs. And so, you know, he was against it, but he didn't have the kind of bureaucratic knowledge, let's say, to be able to stop a lot of these things. And then it, you know, continues to proliferate under the Biden administration. I think that the origin of this all is, you know, the 2016 election disinformation, Russian election disinformation. Not that it starts then, but that's sort of when the concerns begin. And then by 2018, come midterms, I think DHS is trying to position itself as, hey, you know, that problem you guys have, we can help with it. Let us handle this. So then in 2018, it's the midterm elections. And by 2020 with coronavirus, then they have a really strong case. And I've looked at polling on this. It does suggest that there's surprisingly large amounts of public support for, frankly, censorship of, you know, what they consider COVID disinformation. I think that they can sense that there's an opening for them there to you know, take advantage of that and say, hey, let us have a role in you know, communicating with these social media platforms.
I mean, it seems to me, and you tell me if this timeline is inaccurate, but you know, you first start in the early days of social media. You've got like Al Qaeda and ISIS, and there's an effort to find people who are sympathizers, spreading their propaganda or beheading videos or whatever. Like that's the first step. Then you have the Russian efforts, whatever they amount,
bringing in fear,
election. And then, you know, that's a further step of, okay, we got to see who's sharing this Russian content and what impact is that having? Well, now this seems to have gone even a further step where there's no even artifice of this has to do with foreign actors. Like we're talking about American citizens talking to other American citizens without even any sort of tie to potential international terrorism, which seems to be where these programs really originally had their origins.
Exactly. Right? And that's where
they're so right about that. So this started as spying on like terrorists from foreign foreign countries and stuff like that. This was like pretty much started during the 9/11, like right after the 9/11 time. So it started with, you know, Al Qaeda and ISIS, Muslim countries. And then it slowly gradually went towards Russians. And now it's just us. It's us with us. It's our own people talking to our own people here in America, which should have freedom of speech. And we're getting banned, and our Twitters are getting deactivated because of saying one simple thing. You know, now it's usually you say something about Ukraine. And that's it. Like, you know, if you don't stand with Ukraine, then you're obviously going to get censored. You know, look at the STFU shit lib. He got censored and the whole thing got taken down. A lot of people are. We were just watching yesterday. I think his name was Scott Ritter. He got his Twitter taken back away again just from one fucking post. So Yeah, they're doing it to us now instead of it being international terrorists or foreign terrorists. Now they're doing it to Americans, which they were already doing before. It's America in the last 20 years has gotten ourselves to a mentality of, at least in the conservative circle, when it comes to this stuff, they're like so anti-spying, but like when it comes to, you know, using your cell phone and having your cell phone listening to you and you know, signing up and agreeing to terms of services and all the jargon that comes in all of that, it's like they do it willingly, like it's okay, they're okay to do it. In their mentality is, well, if I'm not doing anything wrong, then I have nothing to worry about. But you know, like, even, you know, just talking to your friends, even saying something in a text message, you know, or saying something on a post in a comment section, saying something mean, could get you in trouble. Like that's enough for you to get in trouble. So how is that mentality going for you after all of these years? Is it going good? Because it's not going good for any of us, obviously. So that's the whole problem with it, is that whole mentality of if I don't do anything wrong, then I can't have anything, you know, anything go against me. So it's okay to spy. Well, look at what's happening now. Now you've got years and years and years of us not, you know, of you not caring if they spy on you because you're not doing anything wrong. But now you're getting your Twitter taken away or your Facebook taken away, and you're losing all the family members' photos and stuff because of it. How does it feel? Like, are we happy yet? Are you fucking happy yet? You know, elite white people that keep getting everything you want, because it's ruining the rest of us. Yeah, exactly. Big Brother is watching. Oh, you liked my costume picture yesterday, Jesus? Thanks. I started doing the makeup at the end of the show yesterday. It was a lot of fun. I something I quickly threw together. I had the hat and I was like, all right, I'm just going to be a witch. If I already have a witch hat, I'm going to be a witch. So I just got some old boots out, some my black and white striped socks. I got a witch dress and then my big old coat thing on top of it, which I love that coat. Just so you guys know, secret between us. That coat that I was wearing yesterday was the first time I ever wore it. I bought that coat about 1.5 years ago down at Santee Alley. And if you look at the coat design, it is, I believe, Versace is the design of the coat, but it's a knockoff. I love Santee Alley. I paid like $25-30 for that coat. And I know, like, if that was real Versace, that coat would be like hundreds and thousands of dollars. So yeah, it was so fun. It was so fun. But yeah, Big Brother is watching. Oh no, wait, that's just Warren. Warren's always watching me, but he's allowed to watch. So yeah, I gave him full on permission. I've sold my soul to Warren, so he's allowed to. Yeah, it is. It was so fun. It was a good costume. My husband was what was it? He was like a coroner voodoo doctor kind of mixture. It was like his own little special design. I think he just wanted to paint his face white and throw an upside down cross on his forehead. And he wanted to wear his coroner jumpsuit. My daughter was a hippie. So it was fun. Lots and lots of fun. Fucking Warren. Fucking Warren. Those are my 2 favorite words this week. Fucking Warren. Okay, let's finish watching this boring shit. Actually, you know what? I'm done. I'm over it. Wait, let me see, because I think the
DHS
good
had its
part is
origin.
coming
It's a,
up.
you know, counterterror post 9/11 department. And if you look at some of the documents that I referenced in the story, I got I was given the quadrennial review for DHS that kind of sketches out the next 4 years, what the next 4 years are going to look like, and what their kind of big picture strategy is. And they're perfectly open in this draft document about that. Okay, well, war and terror is sort of ramping down. We're going to change our focus essentially to domestic American affairs. And what's interesting about that shift from foreign to domestic is that I tried very hard to find anything in the way of documentary or legal basis saying, okay, now.
Do you know about him, Ed? Like, do you know anything about him? Because I have no idea anything about this guy. I just literally saw him for the first time on here yesterday. And the only reason why I put on breaking points was because it said that the Ministry of Truth is continuing in secret. So I had to see, but I don't know who this Ken Klippenstein is. I think he's from like The Intercept or something like that. So if you know who he is, let me know, because I have no idea. But he's about to say a really good part right here about the FBI watching us. And I think that watching this last night, out of the whole thing, this was like the only part was like right here in this little section, I believe, was the part that I really, really wanted to pay attention to, because it literally was saying something about like the FBI watches us. Like they are legit watching us. So he got famous for doing a lot of FOIA requests. Now he's working for Bezos. Oh, Bezos. Okay. FOIA. What is that? You got to talk to me like I'm a child, like a 5-year-old. Oh, Freedom of Information Act. Okay. So what is he, like a libertarian? Interesting. Well, I mean, at least he's doing some Freedom of Information Act. He's got that going for him. Okay.
How we're authorized to do this. It doesn't exist as far as I can tell.
This is a good
It was
part.
just a gradual shift that is happening at the sub White House level, at the administrative level in both the Trump and Biden administrations. And I wonder how much people even know that it's happening. It's like they've taken advantage of this. And then, as I said before, Trump tried to, stop it. They disbanded the disinformation board. But so much of this happens at the level that, people like me who have sources and are talking to people can find out that it's happening. But there's no way for the public to know that these things are still going on.
Not at all.
Way. Yeah. And one of the ones that broke out to me at the very end of the story is about a Twitter account that has like 56 followers, and that is specifically flagged.
This is the part that I was wanting to talk about right fucking here. So this is it right here. This is going to be a crazy, okay. So he had horrible takes on the Coco though. Okay. I think he's half weasel, but can't confirm. Okay. I just know that this part right here that they're about to talk about with this, like, at least in this topic, literally blew my fucking mind when he said this shit. I like could not believe that this is the kind of spying that the disinformation board went to when it came to like Russian propaganda. This is like when they during that time during like the 2020 stuff and all of that, they were like, Russians are putting out misinformation all over Twitter and stuff, and they're trying to get into our politics and try to make sure they get in who they want to get in and put in a Putin puppet type thing. And so this was when they told us all that and said that there was Russian propaganda all over everywhere. This was actually what this guy's about to talk about right now, was the quote unquote alleged Russian propaganda that they were going after. This right here on this part is just absolutely insane to me. Yeah, the dank Bernie memes. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. This shit is nuts to me. I just got mind blown because I mean I knew about like the dank Bernie memes, but just wait, like the small following people that they had to go after, and the fact that the FBI, he's I don't want to repeat it because he's gonna say it himself, but I'm so excited. He was like how the FBI literally got stopped doing their regular jobs of what they normally do in the FBI and go look at like Comrade Daddy 69 on Twitter with like 56 fucking followers and say that he's spewing Russian propaganda and that it's huge and horrible. Just wait. It gets so, I just gave it away. I know. I'm sorry. I'm horrible. Never watch a movie with me. I'm a spoiler. Spoiler.
Yeah, and one of the ones that broke out to me at the very end of the story is about a Twitter account that has like 56 followers, and that is specifically flagged by a government official, sent to Twitter, and Twitter is like, we will escalate this. Thank you. A guy who's literally 56 followers. Like, how is that? In what way?
Who says in his bio, like, this is a parody account, and by something about like weed stores or something
it says,
like this.
Hoes be mad. This is a parody account.
Yeah.
And why are they spending any time under a banner image of Blucifer, a demonic horse featured at the entrance of Denver Airport? You have to have something better to do than this.
You're not the only ones that think that this is outrageous.
Yeah.
FBI agents that I interviewed during when all that was happening, who themselves were tasked with things like tracking foreign spies, they were outraged that they were put into these temporary units to monitor these social media accounts. And they were telling me, yeah, it's clear my boss doesn't have any idea like what irony is on the internet or like what what sarcasm is.
Yeah.
Because my job now is just tracking Commie Kid 69 posts something, and we're supposed to respond like it's some national security crisis.
Oh my
So they were very
God.
irritated by it as well. And my understanding is there were a lot of FBI agents that were taken from their normal responsibilities and assigned to this kind of stuff.
Well, I said to you, it's like
Crazy,
dystopian.
right? That's fucking wild to me. They got taken from their normal assignments and got sent temporarily here to that area to follow Commie Kid 69 and turn his ironic and funny tweets into a national crisis and made Russiagate even bigger than it is. I mean, if we did not concede to the whole Russiagate bullshit propaganda that like Hillary Clinton and the Democrats started back in 2016, I don't even think that a lot of this stuff would be happening right now, like with Ukraine and Russia. I honestly, truly don't think that we would be in a mental state of where half of the country, like the liberals are like, stand up for Ukraine, and like the squad wouldn't be acting like that, taking back their little letter that they sent. I don't think that any of them would be acting like that if we didn't bring back this whole Russiagate bullshit. And obviously this was controlled and scripted and scheduled to be like this. This was strategized to do this so that did they know back in 2016 that people were getting tired of the Afghan wars, and so they were like, all right, we got to try to figure out a way to get us out of these wars, but we got to still continually make money, so let's start ourselves in another war. And so we'll start this whole Russiagate thing, and Putin is scary and Putin is bad and all this blah 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 stuff, to where we can go after them and figure out a way to do that by increasing the NATO lines and breaking promises. And it just gives us like this full-fledged openness. Like once that mentality of those people go Putin bad, it automatically starts this mentality of otherizing all of them and making them not human, to where we can fight them. It's literally the same thing that we did with like ISIS and Al-Qaeda and the Muslims and stuff, like not realizing that, yeah, those Muslims were, those type of extreme Muslims, yes, they're bad, but not all the Muslims were all bad, because, that's like trying to say, if you're a Christian, like these extremist Christians, yeah, they're bad, but like there are some, non-religious spiritual Christian people that aren't really that bad. So you're just going to pile all of those people into these extreme Christians just because these extreme Christians, or these Al-Qaedas, using the similarities between the two, just because Al-Qaeda and ISIS decides to do jihad on people, which is just an extremist version of the Muslim religion, which the actual Muslim religion, is just, it's another religion. It's all it is. So that's that whole thing to me. Like, we've completely otherized them. And it's all because of Russiagate. And I really honestly, truly don't think that we would be in this situation right now if Russiagate didn't happen. And I think it was a strategy that they wanted to keep themselves in war, to keep making money. And I'm rambling again. See what happens when I don't smoke weed? I swear. This is why I usually try to take like a couple of hits before the show, so I don't talk as much, because this is what Warren has to deal with all the time when he talks to me, is me going on these stupid ass little rants, and then I start circling and repeating myself because I'm a Cancer and that's what we do. Or I have like some type of separation anxiety to where I feel like I never got listened to as a kid, so I've got to repeat myself multiple times to make sure that people understand what I'm saying. She's traumatized. Ghost Art, good to see you. Assange defense at defense. Assange breaking. Pompeo and the CIA sued for spying on lawyers and journalists at the Ecuadorian embassy. Really? Who's suing them? Who is suing Pompeo and the CIA? That would be interesting. Which they did. I mean, they did spy on him at the Ecuadorian. Oh, Spain is? All right. A whole ass country. Good. Good. If you want to, if you're friends with me in like Discord or you're in Warren's Discord, if you want to send me the link, I can save it and talk about it tomorrow. That would be really, really fun. I know I'm not going to be able to get through all of my stuff today. I still have more to talk about, and I think I'll just continue it tomorrow and add this on top. If you can send it to me or on Twitter as well, I would definitely love to see what's going on with that. You can't put Pandora back in the box. Dem Corpse keeps trying, right? Exactly. Once you open it, it's done. Kelly, you're going to pass out upvoting. Thank you. I love that. Yes, everybody please help with the algorithms. We got another copyright. Well, we didn't get a copyright. We got another strike this morning. I'm surprised we're even live on YouTube today. I got a strike from yesterday's video about being age restricted, even though none of my videos are up for kids to watch. Everything that I post on there is not for children. I make sure of that. But apparently somehow one has slipped by or something. So when I get off of here, I've got to go and appeal that one too as well. So it seems like we're just getting strikes once a week now, which obviously is going to bound to happen. I swear I'm like this close to just giving up on YouTube and just sticking to Twitch and Rockfin, because this is just getting out of hand, the kind of bullshit that I have to deal with on YouTube. So please help just a little bit. Even just pushing that little thumbs up button literally really, really helps out with at least showing it and getting it out there, because YouTube doesn't want to do anything except for try to fuck me over in the ass, which they seem to really, really enjoy doing raw. So, yeah. Good morning, Kelly, or good night, Kelly. Good to see you. Love you. Yes, go get some sleep. You've probably been at work or something. So go get some nighty nights, and we'll talk later. Ed Odyssey has a patron type dealie now too. I was thinking about getting onto Odyssey as well. The only thing that I'm really concerned about being on Odyssey is that apparently you have to pay them to upload a video each time. And we here over at KRTD have literally no income. There's nowhere that we can get an income. There's like, I mean, you know, Shane has like the Patreon page and stuff, but that's literally our only source of income, and nobody really pays anything. We don't have anything at all. So that's my only fear, is like having to pay them to upload each video when we don't even have any income or any money. And I'm not willing to pay my own money, which I don't have because I don't have a fucking job. So what am I going to do? Ask my husband like, hey babe, can I borrow $10 a week so I can upload some videos? Yeah. It's really hard for me to get onto Odyssey with that kind of situation, because we don't have any money. So but all of the, but the other ones that we do have, Twitch, I haven't hit partner part of it yet, which sucks. So I think I'm only at like, I don't even know how many followers, but I think you have to get to like a minimum of 100 followers just to even start getting like tips and things like that on the Twitch. Not there yet. I think we have like 75 more people to get to reach the monetization on YouTube, which I mean, obviously I fucking hate YouTube anyway, but it's like the one we have the closest to monetizing. We only have like 75 more followers to get, but that's been really fucking hard too, is all the work that I have to do every week just to try to get the amount of views that the YouTube needs to get monetized. Like the views, I figured out a way, you know, with like the titles and things like that, a way to get monetized, but we haven't gotten to the amount of subscribers yet. I think we're like at like 9 something. Last time I checked, I think it was like 925, but we might have gotten a couple of more, I think. So I don't know. There's just no way for us to get, you know, any kind of income to even hook up Odyssey in the first place. So yes, please like. You can pay even library tokens, but people can give you some, or you can get free ones by watching videos on Odyssey. They're really making you work for that shit, aren't they? I guess if I just try to start something, I don't know. I don't know anyone that goes to Odyssey either. Like who goes to Odyssey to pay some money to watch videos? I don't know. It's really, really hard to even get any kind of income over here at KRTD to hook us up. So talk to one of the Cabello clones. He might be able to get you video archives or get vids archived over there. Okay. Okay, I could do that. What if Kit doesn't like me? What if I come up as an annoying little white bitch? Twitter just fact-checked Biden's jobs, Bo saying he's conflating regaining lost jobs with creation of new jobs that never existed. Yeah, exactly. When you upload to YouTube, it will automatically be backed up on Odyssey if you connect your account. Okay, at no charge. Really? You'll get faster followers on Twitch if you put Warren. I know. I keep telling him we need to get him in a hot tub. You get that like little either the gorilla mask that he's got or like the Christopher Walken mask that he's got and get him into a hot tub. I'm telling you. I keep telling him that. I tell him all the time. I'm like, you got the personality, you got the looks, you got the following. All you need now is a hot tub and you're golden. Like you're going to be up there with Amaranth and shit. Like get it. I keep telling him, but he doesn't listen to me. So one of these days. Good morning, Jim. Good to see you. We're just talking. Yeah, we're just talking. Odyssey requires you to have a certain amount of subs on YouTube to link accounts. So KRTD should be fine. They can link to Rumble for free, no restrictions too. So if I stream the video onto YouTube and then just have those linked, it'll upload them to those websites as well for free. I won't have to like upload a video on Rumble and it costs me money. Like that's what I want to know. Oh yeah, we're at 9:32. Woohoo! We're getting there. It's a slow progression. We're gonna get to the point of being monetized eventually. I'm trying to get to the 1,000 mark before the New Year's. So as of right now, I'm still not stressing about it too much, but I do want to at least hit the 1,000 mark on YouTube by New Year's. And see, that's what's like crazy too. Like there's still, no income, no anywhere. And I'm like, I know here at KRTV that they're, or not requiring, they're depending on YouTube being their main source of, shows and things like that. There are people that have been talking about other ones that we want to join, but it's like, it seems like YouTube is where a lot of the higher up people want to kind of stay to try to get there because I don't even know why. I don't know why. It just seems like it's the one area that makes money, but I'm telling you, man, Twitch, you could really make some money on there if you can get that person into the partner program, especially with like subs and like hooking people up with like being able to use stickers, the usable stuff that is in Twitch too. So I think Twitch would be a really, really good place to do that. They'll shut her channel down. What about shutting my channel down? Oh, if you put you in a hot tub. No way. Just tell them you're friends with the Antichrist. Once you leak YouTube to those accounts, once you upload or stream to YouTube, they will automatically get transferred to Odyssey and Rumble with no charge though. Like, am I going to get charged? Because I'll do that. Is it going to take a time for me to get on Rumble and Odyssey like it did with Rockfin? Because it took like a week or two to get onto Rockfin just for them to even acknowledge our existence. So I'll just talk with you afterwards about it and see about it. Because, yeah, we have like no source of or nowhere to get us an income here at KRTD. There's no way for anybody to tip or to help us out except for Patreon. And I'm not even sure that Patreon is up to date. We just are starting to get like our website up to date. Apparently our website has been like out of date for months and we had no idea. The dude that was running the website ended up just like completely ignoring it, not doing anything about it. So we've got Johnny in there now working on it, and he's an IT guy, webmasters, made tons of websites, amazing, incredible dude, super smart. Don't know how he got himself a fucking blue check on Twitter, but he got himself a blue check on Twitter years ago and still trying to figure that out because that's awesome for him. But So we're trying to like update everything and get everything back to normal. Now that it's just us and the, you know, like Joe Firestone's no longer here anymore. So just trying to get everything in a way that makes all of us happy and is working for all of us. And then eventually, you know, because I think what it was is like our minds was like brainwashed for a while to just focus on trying to get monetized because of like Joe was just adamant about wanting to be paid eventually. So it just got to a point where we're like, oh my God, how the fuck do we do this? But now we still have that mentality. I'm like playing with something, sorry. We still have that mentality of wanting to figure out how to get monetized, but just not in a more in a serious quick way as we wanted to. It's not, you know, it definitely could help us, like definitely could help a lot of us out with, you know, some stuff around here, like paying for you know, like StreamYard or, you know, I don't know, Canva, things like that. So yeah, Streamlabs hosting that as well. The only thing with Streamlabs is I could get Streamlabs, but then I am the only person here over at KRTD that knows how to work OBS, and I do not want to be the only producer around here for everyone's show. So StreamYard, we have StreamYard paid for up to a year, so we're gonna, you know, StreamYard does great. A lot of people are using StreamYard. I mean, practically everyone is. So that's what we use is StreamYard, and it's pretty decent. So it's just you know, it's still as limited as a free, well, a paid, you know, website producing host whatever thing works for, but yeah. Rumble for sure is no charge. Okay, Odyssey charges you like 1 cent library token, something like that. Okay. That's where I worry. I worry about being charged even a penny. Like I don't even have a credit card. I don't even own a credit card or a debit card. I don't own any plastic. So yeah. My husband switched to streaming on YouTube. Adam is now monetized. Yeah, I saw your husband last night playing some video games. He's on Twitch for sure. I mean, I'm on Twitch. It's you know, it's that one. I'm just not up. I'm not up to that part yet. I don't have. It seems like Twitch is really rocking when Joe is on, but when I'm on, my fucking channel is lame. Nobody comes on. I've got 36 followers on Twitch, so that's not too bad. I just still have a while for me to get to that point of being monetized. So I'll get there eventually. I just got to find my niche, and I got to, you know, prove my worth to the people on Twitch that I'm worthy enough to watch, and it'll happen eventually. So yeah, I'm the only one watching myself on Twitch because that's what I do, baby. That's what I do. But your husband's doing good on his Twitch gaming channel. That was really cute to watch him last night. He's such a little nerdy nerd. I love it. Once I get parked and my desktop back up, you can help. All right. Streamlabs be evil. Yeah, I bet. And like you can only post to like certain ones, right? Like your main page on your Facebook through Streamlabs. You have to like pay for it to get like groups and pages added to Streamlabs. And see on here on StreamYard, yeah, we already paid for it, but we can do, you know, I got 2 Facebooks up right now that we're streaming to, Shane's personal page and KRTD's Facebook. Then we got the YouTube, my Twitch, Shane and KRTD's Twitter, and then Rockfin up there. And those are all being streamed through StreamYard right now with all these fun, fancy, you know, designs like the ticker here at the bottom and the overlay, you know, the little intro that I can put. I can even have music in the background if I wanted to as well, like night driving. I can have music in the background playing while I'm talking. It's kind of cool, you know? They got like cool little fun things for you to do and be able to have while you're doing this. And they're always adding new stuff too, so let me turn this down because that shit's gonna be all up in my shit. From the Rue It's of the devil. I can add you to as an admin. You can stream up to 3 platforms. Yeah. No, it's okay. I mean, like, I really, I use the OBS when I'm doing my gaming on my Twitter, but this is already, like, it's already got everything I need for KRTD that I really don't have to mess with anything. And this is approved. It's owned by KRTD. It's Shane. So, and I'm doing this, the What show through KRTD. Like with my own gaming one, maybe I can, yeah, borrow your Streamlabs one for my gaming channel. I just don't know where else other than Twitch I would want to stream my gaming content at least personally, you know. Yeah, I have no idea where else I would want to stream my gaming. So I don't know, maybe talk about it. We'll see. Adam is your stepson. What? Oh, that kid was your stepson? Oh, okay. I thought that your husband played video games. No wonder he looked young. I thought he just looked young for his age. Because, you know me, I can't, like, judge people, so, off their looks. I mean, I'm pushing 40, so I don't look like I'm pushing 40, so. $19.99 a month. Boy, I don't even have that much money. I'm so poor. I'm poor. For my own. I don't have that much money. I'm not willing to give up $20 a month. What do I have that I pay for? I have my video editor. I pay about $100 a year, so I pay that once a year. I just ended my Fortnite subscription, so that was $5 a month. I couldn't afford that anymore. I couldn't do that anymore. That was too much. I think like my PlayStation Plus, I pay for that, which is like 40 something for the year. And I believe that's it. That's literally, personally, those are the only things that I make sure I get paid for or get paid every year, get paid off every year. I am very, very low maintenance. I am super terrified of going broke. I've been homeless and broke so many fucking times that I literally constantly live in fear of spending money because of that fact. And I don't want it to happen. So I just don't. I will literally put myself in living in austerity to make sure in my head that I know that we can survive the next month. It's the weirdest mentality. You end up, you know, losing everything that you own multiple times over and over again. You kind of become traumatized over it and like get kind of, you know, like a PTSD type of thing. So, okay, that was your kid. Your husband left Twitch. Okay. You've been a member of Twitch since 2014. I have a Twitch account that I don't use anymore. That was the one that I was using, the Jimmy Saves World one, and I've had that one for a few years. But my new one, this image production one, I don't know why I made a new one for the show. I wanted something to go with it, so I just did it that way. Your husband's on YouTube. It's Lesbone. Stop being poor. No, I'm trying. I'm trying not to be poor. Hell, as of the 30th, you're pushing 55. That's right. You're on a field low or a fixed low income. Yeah, same. Me too. Adam is going to be 22 this month. Okay. I don't know what game he was playing yesterday, but it was like, you know, kind of like a card type game or something. It looked like cards was in it. It was cute. I didn't watch for very long, obviously, because yesterday was Halloween, I believe. Or was it the day before that it was a show? I think it was yesterday because I was rolling through Facebook seeing everybody's costumes. And I think that's where I saw that your kid was live. But I didn't watch for very long because obviously it's Halloween and I was doing a bunch of other stuff, but okay, you're homeless now because it's not your first rodeo. Whew, yeah. I feel that. I feel like we were homeless right before we moved into this house. We were homeless for like, I'm pretty sure it was about 4 to 5, maybe 6 months we were homeless, and it was because I was running for office and I couldn't get anybody to like pitch in, donate and stuff like that to my campaign, so I was wasting a lot of our own money on trying to get my name out there to run for office. Plus I was running co-coordinating also an Indivisibles group back then too. So a lot of my money was, I was just, I need money to do this. I need prints. I need printables. I need poster boards. I need markers. We got to do a protest. So we need all this stuff, and it ended up just making us homeless because of it. And I still feel super fucking guilty about that. Like, I still feel like it's my fault that me trying to be actively involved in politics, trying to, run activist groups and trying to run for office ended up actually making me homeless. So this is the first house that we moved into right after we were homeless on that point. We've been here for a few years in this house. It's just this house is very, very small. There's my husband's used to having a full ass garage, so he has so much garage stuff for to fill up a garage, because he's one of those kind of men. He really likes to work on vehicles. He has a lot of tools. He also we own a auto detailing business, so we have a lot of car wash stuff as well. And he's also a lighting guy and a grip and all that for the movie industry. So he's got like all this extra lighting equipment all over the house. And all of that stuff used to go into the garage. But now that we don't have a garage, I have to like finagle things around the house, and it's very, very cluttered around here. Like, I have a back patio, but I only have like one corner of the back patio because the rest of the back patio is covered in like stacked up with like dog crates and Halloween and Christmas decorations, one of those like giant air tanks that do like the compressed air. There's just all kinds of garage stuff there. And then also I have like this like A-shaped loft upstairs, so that's where all the inside stuff goes to, where because that's all outside under a tarp out there, and then the inside stuff that can't get wet is up there, like a twin size beds. I got like an entire giant suitcase of all my old dancing clothes, stuff that would normally go in a garage, Halloween costumes, extra blankets and pillows, things like that. So yeah, we're not homeless anymore, but we're definitely living in a very compact house. But the rent is decent. So, I mean, we're paying $1,300 a month for this house, and it's in California, in Southern California, in the San Bernardino Mountains. So it's kind of like, definitely doing good on our part, for at least for the price and the cost of living right now. My sister's homeless right now. Shit. That's why I have that little fucking devil dog right here. This little shit for brain. Because my sister has been homeless since June. And she's got 4 kids, all boys. And so she's got to stay at her friend's house with her friend and her friend and her friend's husband. And they have a couple of kids as well. So they have a whole house full of little boys, because they all have boys. But that's why I have this little shit, is because my sister is homeless and can't take all of her animals with her. So the family have taken like an animal here and an animal there, so my sister can find a house. But now she's wanting to buy, because she wants to stay permanent, but she's having a really, really hard time finding a cheap house out here. So she's been homeless since June. It's wild. This is my first time. All the other times, she was on the front line with me, without your wife. I still have a hard time coming to terms with all the users and abusers of the disabled, right? I really want to have them terminated. Volcano party. Warren, put that up. Volcano party. Volcano party. Get it. All right, I'm running out of any kind of time to even watch any more videos, even if I wanted to. I mean, like the Dio de Las Muertas video is at least 15 minutes by itself. And if I want to not get a copyright strike, I definitely have to kind of watch, stop. So it turns it into at least double the time. So we might have to watch this tomorrow, and I can probably get off early so I can go play some video games with less bones. You've been homeless with 4 kids. That sucks. I'm sorry. Are you good over there, sir? Are you good? The Burton? He's just looking at me weird. Come here, Burton. Come on. Hi, big boy. Look at your big boy. Oh, the loves. Okay. No loves. What's on your tail? What do you got on your tail? What is that? I felt it. What do you got? Is it gone? Okay. I guess it's gone. Whatever it was, I don't know what it was. What? There you go. Thank you, Ed. Yes. Volcano party. All right. Let me see who we got. Anybody, anyone going live today? I know Hardlands Media is going to be live today. So, Kit, I heard you earlier because I rewinded. We should definitely pre-ground it later, but I may get home late today. Okay. I still have to download it, so don't even trip. I still have to edit and clip up all these videos and then release it. So, I mean, my time, I'm not even going to probably be ready until like 3 or 4 o'clock. So that would be 3, 6 or 7 your time. So if I was to do it, definitely would have to do, wait, I might not even have time to do it today too, because I also have, I think I have a meeting today after I'm done with that to teach this new kid, how to do some clipping or something. I don't know. I think we might, I don't know. New video editor I've got to train. So we'll see. Thank you, Ed. Yes. Okay. So Kira is going to be live on Chicago Corner at 7:30 Central. All right. So that would be 5:30 Pacific. So, okay, cool. Keep your eye out for that. Is it just going to be Kira by herself tonight? And is she going to wear that awesome suit again? Because I'm telling you, I could not stop looking at her with that mustache and the wig on. Holy shit. She was good. That was really, really good. She did a good job with that. Time to get the brush out. Okay, cool. Cool. You got that, Les Bones. All right. Yeah, you guys, leave Les Bones alone. He's working. Don't get him fired, because then he's got to go look for a job and we won't be able to see him for like a whole month because he'll disappear. Or is that Warren? Warren does that. Warren disappears for a month, but only to you guys, because I'm special. Ed. Special Ed. Okay, I'm going to get off of here because now I'm just fucking wasting time. Okay, you'll be there? Okay, good. I'll let her know you quested the clone suit. Yes! I fucking love that shit. Cool, I'll be there. Kira's one of my new favorite people, so. One of my new favorite people to watch. Holy shit. Like, she's such a badass bitch. Like, the whole wrestling, mud wrestling thing. Like, I don't even want to fuck with her. That girl looked like she could probably kick some ass. And I'm a fighter. Like, I've fought, and I'm from the streets. I'm a dancer. We know how fighting goes. We've had, dudes' wives come in and try to beat our asses because they're tipping us money, kind of thing. So I've held my own in the world, in the streets world. But she looks like somebody that could probably whip some fucking ass. And I think that's badass. She's so cool. Seeing her do some mud wrestling, I was like, fuck yeah. And I was sitting there thinking that night too, when she's like, how she's really whooped some ass and like she's like the top dog in mud wrestling. I'm like sitting there thinking like, I've done like, some Jello wrestling and stuff like that. But me and my friend would do it together to where we would pretend that we were fighting. So it didn't actually look like, we were really going at it. And we'd always try to make it look even. Like I would knock her down and then she would get back up and she would knock me down. And so it kind of made it look like an even thing. I didn't want it to I didn't want to whoop my girl's ass. I didn't want to be like, I'm better than you in mud wrestling. Like we're going to be even, So I've never actually got to experience like the dirty down dirtiness of mud Jello wrestling, but she has, and that's fucking cool. Enjoy getting off. I'm not getting off today. My bullet battery is dead. That was a good one. All right, I'm sorry. I went sexual with that. All right. Anything else, you guys? So we've got Chicago Corner tonight. It is Tuesday. So damn, Warren, I just got your message. Did you do that? Because that would be nice. I think you just disappeared, so which is cool. Who else is going to be on today? Revolutionary Blackout Network is on right now. Looks like they're talking about Brianna Joy Gray. Who else is going to be on today? Anyone else? Anyone else? The Rabbit Man. The Rabbit made her do it. You guys are so bad. So bad. Looks like Jay Buffont just did a video earlier with Margaret Kimberly. Oh, Revolutionary Blackout Network is like on a roll today. They're just hour after hour after hour, huh? Talking about Lula. All right, you guys. I don't know who else is going to be on today. Then I'm just going to waste all my time until Chicago Corner comes on and I can watch Kira. That's all I'm going to do today then. Okay. So then keep your eye out for Harlan's Media. They're going to be live today with Chicago Corner. Keep an eye out for our clips today. Obviously, I've got some clips that I can pull out. Looks like the Paul Pelosi one and the soup debate. Did we talk about the Obama heckler? I don't remember. I don't remember showing the videos. I think that's something we're going to have to talk about tomorrow, maybe? I don't know. I don't remember. Okay. Okay, Dolores and you are going to go live. Is that on have your guys' new show started yet? Hold on. Brandy and D around the world. Around the world with Brandy and D. You guys have already got a show going? Wait a minute. Okay, you have one scheduled here. I see it right here. I mean, man, people have been asking about your guys' show and when you're starting it. So here's your guys' YouTube. Looks like you guys are going to be on today at 4 p.m. my time. Brandy and Doritos sounds like a good show. Okay, good. Okay, Kit should be live in 10 minutes. Okay, so Hardlands Media in about 10 minutes, you guys. Remember to head over there, Hardlands Media on YouTube. Remember to give Brandy and Dolores, thank you. I remember to subscribe right now so I won't forget it. So I am now subscribed. If you guys want to check it out, it's Brandy and D Around the World or Around the World with Brandy and D. You'll be able to see it. It looks like they've got one coming up at 4 p.m. today. So an hour after 10 minutes from now. I can't believe you guys already have one from 9 days ago. Oh, it's 9 seconds. Okay, so you guys are just getting started, like just starting. So good. All right, it looks like you guys' first episode is today, which is going to be fun. Witch camps in Ghana. Nice. Okay. So when we get off here, go check out Harlan's Media on YouTube. I'll probably either be on YouTube or Twitch. I usually go to the Twitch one first just because I love giving Twitch and it's got the good emojis and stuff. But if there's nobody on there, I'll see you guys over on the YouTube area. Go check out D and Brandy Around the World today at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And then go check out also Chicago Corner with Kira today. That's also going to probably be over at the Harlan's Media area as well. Unless they have their own, I think they have their own page or YouTube channel too. I don't know. They just pop up on my thing. So I'll see. she asked you to cover a story with her. Hey, it sounds like a first episode to me. So congratulations on your guys' first episode today. And I hope it goes really, really well. I'll be sure to be there to chat and hook you guys up with some comments and like it and all that stuff. So thank you, Holly, for a great day. Thank you all for hanging out and chilling out with me. Hope I didn't bore you guys too much with all of my talking and yapping. This is what happens when a person with anxiety does not get to smoke weed. No, that's totally understandable because you're going into surgeries and all kinds of stuff too. So don't even trip. Do not ever apologize for your health. Ever, ever, ever. We love you and we adore you, and you do things on your own time and when you're ready. So, you don't feel forced. None of that. You have family here. So thank you. I love you. Okay. Chicago Corner does have its own channel. Okay. So everybody, don't forget, I will see you at Harlan's Media around the world and then Chicago Corner. Go check them out on YouTube as well. And Rockfin. Yes. And Twitch. I need to get up. I think I'm following them on Rockfin, actually. Okay, yeah, I am. Yep, I'm following them on Rockfin. So, okay, cool. Looks like Convo Couch. No, Convo Couch isn't on. It just shows that we missed a video, or I missed a video. Weed is better than an apple a day. Absolutely. One love. Yes. Thank you, Jim. Good to see you. Have a good day at work. Les Bones. Let me know when you're off. I'll probably already be on there, maybe if I haven't started yet. But I can't not download a game, or I can't download a game and then not play it. So once I download it, I will probably be on there. So let me know whenever you want to hop on and we'll play some Grounded today. Maybe I'll live stream it. I will see after Chicago Corner later on today. Maybe stream it later on tonight or something. So thank you all for coming. Les Bones, Jim, Brandy, Ed. Ed, I appreciate you coming. I know you got like a lot of things you do over at Harlan's Media, and it's really cool to see you over here and being part of like the fam and the friends and stuff. I feel really like appreciated and loved. I know you're only here for Warren, but I'm only here for Warren too. So it's all cool. We're all here for Warren. Good to see you, Warren, Holly. No thank you for coming, Mr. KKK person. I do not like you. Jesus, thank you for coming. Jesus with the California flag as your picture. Atres, good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I believe that's everyone. Okay. Don't forget to hit the like button. Okay. You'll check in. Okay, cool. Yeah, just check in whenever you're ready. I will talk to you all later. Head over to give about 6 more minutes, and I will see you all over at Hard Lens Media, which is going to obviously be loads of fun. Kit is a blast to watch, and it's right after Halloween, so we'll see what kind of antics that they got themselves into, or they're getting themselves into this time. So thank you all for coming. I hope to see you all soon, and actually I will. I'll see you all in the morning tomorrow. All right. Peace.